Hi guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV. It's the live, I've done that twice. It's the live watch along for the Tottenham Hotspur versus Wolves game. I've turned the volume off on my computer, even though 3 weeks in a row now I've forgotten to do that. But it shows the level of professionalism that comes from me today. I'm here today with Amir from Tottenham on Tour. How are you, Amir?
I'm doing really well, Barnaby. You know, I'm absolutely pumped to be back in the studio for this one, and I'm excited to start building a little winning streak together. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, we haven't lost in a few games actually, and if we can win today, I was saying last week, I thought winning against Brighton was key, and then if we can win today and then beat Palace at home, who will no doubt, in a classic kind of anti-Spurs move, have their new manager in by then of course we can then go into that Aston Villa away game full of confidence. But with only 4 minutes or so to go until kickoff, let's go through today's team. It is, as expected, I would say. I certainly kind of picked this team on my match preview on the Spurred On podcast. So Vicario in goal, Emerson Royal and Ben Davies come in as fullbacks with Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie injured. But hopefully, and according to Ange Postecoglou, should be fit again in 2 weeks for the next game against Crystal Palace. Then Christian Romero and Mickey van der Ven at centre-half. Yves Bissouma comes back in for his first start in a long time, just in front of the back four. And then Pat Matasar and James Maddison making up the rest of the central midfield. And then Sonny, thank the Lord, back in to start at the left foot on the left side of the forward line with Richarlison in the 9 and Deki Kulusevski on the right. Any surprises in there for you, Amir, or is this what you thought might happen?
I mean, it's more or less what I thought would happen. You know, the only one in there that's really debatable for me is the Bissouma, Bentancur, Tobocco that you have in there. I think Bentancur needed a rest, though. You know, he's had 2 big injuries over the last, 6 months, 9 months. I think he hasn't been on top form since he's come back from that second one. And Bissouma looked, well up for it in that little cameo that he had against Brighton. So I think why not give him the start? That's the midfield that, when we look back at those first 10 games, that was the midfield that won us, those points.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And actually, I think Bissouma was potentially the most important part of that midfield because he would show time and time again for the ball and on the half turn beat the press. And I do think Wolves will probably try and press him pretty high, having seen what happened against Brighton last week where Danny Welbeck was just sat on Rodrigo Bentancur and made him turn it over quite a number of times in that first half. I was at the open training session this week. That's where it became clear to me that Porro and Destiny Udogie were out. You said before we started that you don't think it should be too much of a drop-off. What are you kind of expecting from Royal and Ben Davies today?
Well, I would hope that Davies comes in and brings in that experience. If it's going into the dying embers and, we still need to hang on, I'm expecting that experience, level head, he come in, he do a good job. He might not be as good as Udogie going forward, although he does like a goal. He is decent in the air and he does have a good left peg on him. I'm looking for Royal to come in and bring that stability that we know he can bring. He, again, not as good going forward as Porro, but I think defensively Royal has been fantastic. And we know that, he stepped in the past, even in huge games against City, I can remember, and stuff like that, where he's been absolutely phenomenal. So I don't think the drop-off will be that high. And I don't think we should be using it as an excuse or anything like that.
No.
Definitely not.
And of course, another big talking point, Son Heung-min back for his first start since the Asian Cup. And obviously with the dislocated finger from him being the leader to end all leaders, getting himself in between a clash at the South Korean dinner that the younger players apparently wanted to become a ping-pong session, but Sonny wanted them to bond over dinner. How important is it that he comes in for Timo Werner? What have you thought about Werner's kind of 4 or 5 games for Spurs so far? And do you agree with me that actually I think Werner could be more useful for us as a kind of pacey substitute as the opposition team starts to tire?
Oh, I think he's the perfect super sub, to be honest.
Yeah.
Timo, since he's come into the team, how's he been? Bit hit and miss, yeah, he's had a few decent performances, couple of assists I can remember. It's just the shooting, Barnaby. I would think that someone who's been through so many drills at his age, will be able to find the target. So that's something that I'll be looking on him to improve. But as a super sub coming off the bench, fantastic. When teams are tiring, 60th minute, 70th minute, bring him on, and I'm sure he could trouble a few defenders.
Yeah, and I can tell you from having been at that open training session at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this week, his finishing is actually really good. So I think
Okay.
the issue with Timo Werner is that he's completely lacking confidence.
Okay.
Because he got burnt so hard when he was at Chelsea in the Premier League that now he really doubts his ability to do it in the important moments. So I think what we need from him, or what needs to fall for him almost, is a chance that comes instinctively to him, that he doesn't have to think about. But yes, I agree with you. So far, his finishing has not been that great. Just going to turn it over because the game is about to kick off. There's been a tiny bit of a delay because there was a young mascot who needed leading onto the pitch by James Maddison, and it took a little bit of time, but it's very sweet, and the whole crowd gave him a huge standing ovation. And also, I've seen on the Spurs Twitter accounts there are some videos of him back in towards the dressing rooms as well, which are very much worth seeing. Liverpool have already played away at Brentford today and won. There's still a part of me that says, can we challenge Liverpool and Man City this season? 14 games left. Can we put together a run? But I do think Liverpool just find a way to win games that Spurs, Spurs obviously found a way not to win that game at Goodison, whereas Liverpool have absolutely trounced Brentford today.
Yeah, and it's all well and good, keeping in that race and 14 games to go. But I think we need to be just focused on ourselves. Take it game by game, get the 3 points here tonight, move on to Palace, get the 3 points there, then we move on to Villa.
Yeah.
What other teams do, we'll assess it as it goes down. If we're still in touching distance, fair enough. We can make a push. But I really just expect us to be working on our performances, improving those performances, getting over the line, getting more wins. And, if we are in contention with a few games to go, so be it. But I don't think it's the be-all and end-all of the season.
I think that's actually a really mature way of looking at it. Maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself because we put together a bit of a run already, and I think hopefully we can get 2 more wins before going to that Villa game. What are you expecting from Wolves today? Obviously, they went to Chelsea just a few weeks ago and won 4-2. And they've done well in the big games so far this season as well. They beat Man City at home, and they only just lost at the Emirates 2-1. So it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
Oh, it's not going to be easy at all, Barnaby. And you know what, Wolves, they're actually, dare I say it, my kind of second side in the Prem. I quite like the way they go about their business. I like the way they play football.
Yeah.
I really loved when Raul Jimenez was there before his big injury. I thought he was a fantastic player. I think it's going to be a very difficult afternoon for our boys, to be honest with you. They're a very good football inside. When we cast our mind back to how they finished us off at Molineux, I mean, for that, we need to get some revenge.
Should say, game has kicked off and Spurs are on the attack.
Come on,
Sonny wanted to line one up there, gives it to Maddison, and it comes out wide to Richarlison, who's on the right flank. He's going to have a deal. It's a corner.
Is that a cross or a shot?
It was neither a cross nor a shot. It was weird, but it's a corner Spurs, cleared by Max Kilman. Should also say, just before that attack, Christian Romero got the ball off Vicario in our own box, and as he shaped to kind of play it down the line, he was fouled, and the ref didn't give the foul, and it nearly allowed Wolves to break. And that's one thing I wanted to talk about, actually, which is refs do not seem to give us as much as they give opposition teams at the moment. Is this me being biased as a Spurs fan, or is this all come from that time against Liverpool at the beginning of the season where we shouldn't have had a goal? We should have had a goal. We did have their goal chalked off, and in the end, it should have counted, and in the end, it was chalked off, sorry.
Well, look, Barnaby, I think every team, you think there's a bias towards your team.
Totally.
That's just how it works. But let's be honest and let's look at some of these matches game by game. I do think there has been a bit of a discrepancy when it comes down to the refs since that Liverpool game. It was such a big cock-up for them, if you like.
Yeah.
I think they've been easier to give us cards and less to the other opposing teams, but we can't use it as an excuse. We can see as well we've only had 1 penalty all season.
Yes, that's true. Actually, sorry to interrupt, mate, but I did read something that I thought was interesting, which is a suggestion that because Spurs play in such kind of a chaotic manner and everything's so quick, that maybe refs aren't as kind of able to see some of the, in this example, kind of professional fouls given against us, those kind of tactical fouls especially. So I wonder if there's any kind of truth to that. Oh, hello.
Maybe. There might be something in that. For me, it's kind of the same old thing with the refs. It's the lack of consistency that really, really bothers me. You'll see one player do the exact same foul as another player.
Yes.
Someone will get a yellow, the other player won't. And then down the line, you'll see another, the same player make another foul and get a yellow. It's a very, very tricky one. I don't think the VAR has helped out at all, the refs, to be honest with you. It's kind of like another layer of defence there for them.
Yeah.
So instead of actually making a decision, they just kind of rely on the VAR.
Nice ball out from Van der Ven, straight out to Son, by the way.
That's
He's
nice.
put Madders in. Madders doesn't have the pace for this, unfortunately, but a lovely ball from Sonny. I just wanted to mention one other thing I've seen so far in the game, as Bissouma goes in for 50-50 and does really well there. Okay.
Come on, Tottenham.
Davis down the left. He's got Son outside and plays it into Madders. Dummy. Oh, Richarlison. Just didn't quite fall for him, but this has been good. Good start. Sonny with another chance to cross it on his left foot. Whacks it, great effort. And I think, was that Ben Davis diving in there?
I think it was.
Yeah, just one thing I noticed, we had a goal kick a minute or two ago, and as Vicario had it at his feet, Wolves kind of pressed in a similar way to how Brighton did, with kind of 3 or 4 men up against Bissouma, up against all our players, but Bissouma got the ball off Vicario and he was pressed, and Bissouma just seemed very relaxed on it, gave it back to Vicario, who then played a ball into Sarr, and we broke the press, which is something that I think we've been struggling to do in the last kind of month or 6 weeks.
Well, Brighton just did it better than us.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Brighton were excellent.
They were excellent.
Yeah.
They really were excellent. You can see here that, you know, if we manage to beat it, then there are opportunities there on the wing. The amount of space that Sonny had to go into there.
Yeah, totally. What have you made of Gary O'Neill this season? Obviously, important to remember Gary O'Neill that he got the job at Wolves because Lopetegui resigned because he'd heard from the board that they were struggling with the profit and sustainability rules and wouldn't be able to buy the amount of players that Lopetegui felt they needed. And O'Neill's kind of made a bit of a laughing stock of that, really, hasn't he? He's done an excellent job. He
has. And like I told you, Wolves are a very, very decent side. The way they go about their business, the way they play football, you know, the way they challenge big clubs and put big clubs on their back.
That's just an example there of exactly what I called. Bissouma got fouled on the ball, and Wolves now have a dangerous attack. They're having a dig, and Vicario saves it and quickly rolls it out. That was Sarabia with the shot.
A daisy cutter of a shot there.
Oh, look, Sonny opening his legs. No, but that's easily taken off him by Semedo, I think that is. But yeah, Bissouma had won the ball well in central midfield, and then facing his own goal, he got tapped from behind, and the ref just let it play on. And that's happened twice in the game already, and that's frustrating because obviously Spurs, particularly in the midfield, are going to be looking to have the Wolves players at their feet as they try and beat at their backs, as they try and beat the press. And we're going to need some more help from the referee than he's shown in this first part. Now Neto in on the left-hand side, very dangerous player. Up against Christian Romero, turns him well, good cross. And Bissouma now on the ball clears it into Richarlison. And again, the referee has waved it away when the guy is on his back, and now Wolves are going forward again.
That's ridiculous. And I was going to say they've scored there because I was sure that was a tap-in.
Well, Vicario has made a good save, and it's bounced out to, I think...
Was he offside?
I'm not sure who it's bounced out to, but he's got a chance from 5 yards out, and he's skied it. Is that Hwang?
It looks like Hwang. Was he offside, though? He looked like...
But once again, that all came from it. It went into Richarlison's feet. He did a good job holding it up, a really good job, and fouled in the back, and the ref doesn't give it.
Well, the ref signalled that Richie was backing into him there, but I just think he was using his body strength, to be honest.
I agree. And also, this, again, is already 6 minutes gone, an absolute basketball game. There have been about 4 chances already, kind of 2 on either side. And Wolves should be 1-0 up. It's as simple as that. They should be 1-0 up. I don't know whether it was offside, but...
It was a tap-in, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an absolute tap-in. And they're playing some good stuff in midfield now. Get off the pitch.
This is worrying for me. Barnaby.
I think it's as kind of expected. Similar to the Brighton game, they're very comfortable on the ball. Lovely tackle, though, and Richarlison has a chance here.
Richie.
No, what are you doing?
Slipped. He's just slipped.
It came to Richarlison. He's running towards the 18-yard box, and all the Wolves players are kind of backing off to the 18-yard line. He's got players either side of him. He needs to lay it off and go for a secondary run there. Instead, he tries to have a shot, and he slips, and it hits his standing foot and goes wide. They're just showing now the chance that fell to Hwang. So... good save from Vicario, comes straight out, and he just skies it on the volley. It comes to him at a difficult height, to be fair, but that, you see, that's exactly what Richarlison should have done, is he laid him in on the right. Anyway, I suppose there's an argument to say...
It's still a tap-in.
Oh, it's totally a tap-in, yeah.
And that's a huge opportunity for Wolves. Will they rue that towards the end of the game? I don't know. I hope so.
And they're in again now.
Good defending.
Emerson Royale has done well there.
Really good defending by Royale.
Yeah, I mean, he will be a bit deeper and narrower than Destiny, so you'd hope he'll help out Romero a bit. Anyway, Davis out to Son now. There's so much space on this pitch for both teams, it has to be said. I like the way that Bissouma started. Was it his tackle there to kind of put Richarlison in? I thought it was.
Yeah, it was. No, Biss has been excellent. Sarr as well. And
Sarr's taking up some lovely areas and that kind of right pocket that he likes to find. Lays it out to Kulusevski and
again
gives him a return.
I thought he could have given him another one there.
He lays it back to Romero.
But what a player Sarr is, Barnaby. You know, I mean, you see this guy, he covers so much of the pitch.
Yeah.
And for his age, you know, the footballing brain is just something else. Well,
literal commentator's curse there, as he just had so much space on the ball and time and looped it into the goalkeeper's arms from trying to do a through ball. But
nice idea.
It happens. It happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
We can praise the idea.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's well one back, but it's gone out for has it gone out?
No, it hasn't. In the
Stayed
end,
on.
Sonny's helped him out with it there, and they're in down the right again. And they've got runners. Semedo's given him a run there, and he's in. And there's a man free at the back stick. Oh, it's a terrible cross, which is very fortunate for us. It goes off the pitch. Jeez, I tell you what. Look, opposition teams who come to Spurs, they're not going to go to many places and get as much time and space on the ball as they do at Tottenham.
No.
It must kind of breed confidence within the team, you know? Like, in the first 15 minutes when you go away, it's usually like, try and keep it calm. And actually, they've had kind of, 4 great openings to make chances.
This is why I worry a little bit about us, you know.
This is Ange ball.
It is Ange ball, but, do we need to have a little bit more nous to get over the line?
Yeah.
Do we need to be... Okay, we can go and try and outscore teams week
good turn
in,
from
week
Richard.
out. But sometimes you do just need to win a game 1-0 or 2-0.
And this is something I've talked about this week on my show as well. We don't keep the ball well enough in the attacking third, so they're always trying to do like the paradise move straight away. And as a result, just then, Max Kilman won the ball off Richarlison, and he had a free run all the way to pretty much our 18-yard box. Look, this is Ange ball, so this is what we wanted. We don't want to sit on our 18-yard box anymore. We don't want Conte ball. But that doesn't mean that we can't be stressed out when, teams come to our place and kind of outplay us for the first 10 minutes, which is what's happened at the moment.
It's happened for the last few games, Barnaby, and it's a little bit worrying, to be honest with you, especially since we've got that midfield. We've got all our players back now.
Oof. Here we go again. So Jose Sarr just played a lovely pass into midfield, and they nearly broke through, but it comes to Vicario, who straight away rolls it out to Sarr.
Come on, Pape.
Who rolls it out wider to Emerson Royal, who gets it to Decky Kulusevski. He's got loads of time, and Madders has made a little run for him, but he has decided to go back inside to Sarr, and that goes out to Mickey van der Ven, and now that'll come to Sonny, I would have thought. Yes, it does, and Sonny's in lots of space here on the left. Is he going to drive at his fullback? They're dropping off him. He plays it in towards Richarlison, and it fails, and now Wolves counter, and now they've got space in midfield again and beat the press, and it's a foul from Van der Ven.
There's hardly anything in that.
Wolves looking confident so far, it's fair to say. 10 minutes gone.
And our attack, it just lacks a bit of threat, I'd say.
Yeah.
Even coming off that sunny side there.
And here comes the ball from the free kick, the ball straight over to their fullback in behind Emerson Royal. And here they are again, just outside their box. They're going to... A bad cross. They had men going into the box there. It's a bad cross, and we get it back, albeit briefly, as it comes back to Wolves, who are playing some beautiful stuff at the moment.
You've got to do better than that. Come on, mate.
Yeah, none of our forward line holding it up at all at the moment, it's fair to say.
No.
Craig Dawson with a big, long diag. Is that going to stay on the pitch? Yes, it is. Semedo. And he runs at Ben Davis, who does really well. Win a foul there. Well done.
Really good defending there by Ben Davis. That's using the experience.
Yeah.
Getting ahead of his man, winning the free kick, turnover of possession. Now we can go at them. I think this is a huge game for those 3 midfielders. I think they could stake a claim. If they come out here and play really well, dominate the game, they could stake a claim, say, this is our midfield. This is the midfield that we want. Bissouma says, I want this position. I want to be in the team. And I haven't seen it in the opening 15 minutes here.
Well, I think all we've really seen is just Wolves really enjoying their play. Comes out to Emerson Royal. Make a nice run from Sarr there, who gets out to Kulusevski.
That's nice. That's better.
That was good, but it never quite sticks with Rishi. But anyway, a ball to be run here.
Well done.
It's a bit... Yeah, it gets cleared by Craig Dawson.
It's a bit scrappy by Tottenham.
It's a bit scrappy at the moment, yeah. I think Spurs just playing their way into this game. What they're kind of looking for is some of that quick tempo 1 and 2 touch stuff, and at the moment we haven't had the opportunity or given ourselves the opportunity, as the ball's not really sticking in the front line.
There's space over there on the left. Look at Sonny.
Yeah, and it will come out to him now, I would have thought, from Van der Ven, and does. Lovely ball, lovely
Off you go.
Lovely,
now,
tightly
Just run at
pass
him.
ball into Son.
Just run
And
at
Madders
him.
makes the run outside him, and it's a good run, but it gets stuck under his feet a little bit. Oh, could have dived over there, Madders, but I'm glad he didn't. Probably wouldn't have been given anyway. Comes back out to Van de Ven.
Might have got himself booked.
Madders to Basuma. That's nice. I like this 1 and 2 touch stuff outside the box. Basuma to Royal, who's narrow. Gives it out to Kulusevski. He's going to want to whip it, I would have thought. Yeah, it's a good cross. No one there. Cleared aerially. Still in the box. Chance for Ben Davies here. Oh, at least he had a shot over the bar. It just kind of sat up nicely for him, and he couldn't quite get his knee over the ball, and it flies over the bar. But that's the first shot in anger from Spurs, really.
It was a decent effort, Barnaby. I just think maybe he took the wrong decision there. Could he have just laid it off to Son?
Yeah, he could have done. It just seems unlikely. You know, in a way, from a team where I don't feel like we've had enough shots this season, I'm kind of glad that he had a dig.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. You know, we need to shoot more. Can't blame him for that.
Yeah.
Decent effort.
Showing Martin Chivers, an ex-Tottenham legend, in the crowd watching today. And the goal kick has been taken, and it's gone back into midfield, where Wolves, again, just keeping it with some nice 1 or 2 touch stuff. And Royal fouled, I think, Neto there on the left-hand side. And it's a free kick to Wolves just inside our half. Let's see if we've got any early comments to talk about. Ange out, Rishi out from Dara Rafferty. How serious is he being? I'm not sure. And yes, Jacob says Rishi is clumsy with the ball. Yeah, that's kind of what we've been talking about a little bit. Nice header there from Ben Davies to Madders, who holds it up nicely. Well done.
Well there, James.
Oh, and then he loses it, Madders, unfortunately.
Is that not a foul there?
No, he got the ball there, and they've got options here. They've got 4 forward here, Wolves. There's 2 men at the back stick as well, if they can be found.
No.
And it does come across to the back stick, and there's going to be a shooting chances there. Yep, Alt-Nouri. Oh, onto his right peg.
Closing him down?
Nobody was closing him down, but Vicario saves it.
Oh, my...
Yeah,
I just don't understand that, Barnaby. There's 3 of them there. Not one of them closed him down.
I think they're expecting him to shoot with his left foot, and he turns, Cruyff turns onto his right. Yeah, so Sarr kind of tries to block the first one.
Oh, here.
Yeah, they just stand up.
They just stand around, waiting for it. If he had buried that, they're 1-0 up. It was a great chance.
Yeah.
That's 2 of the best chances in the game in the opening 15 minutes have gone to the away side here.
Completely
Very,
agree.
very frustrating start here by Tottenham.
I think one of the issues we're going to have today is that, you know, playing with the inverted fullbacks when one of them is Emerson Royal means, you know, all he's going to do is pragmatic sideways and backwards passes. So it kind of slightly nullifies having that extra man in there. But he's come out a bit wider with the ball now. There's a bit of complaining on the pitch here, but that's a good ball from Sarr to Kulusevski. He's got a bit of space out wide. He's going to use his strength here, and keeps it. And Royal comes back for him, but that's it. He's never going to put a cross in there. That's a foul if the ref gives it, which the ref isn't going to give it. I bet he ends up giving it against us.
Probably.
Wolves have won it. Well in Basuma. Oof, that could have been a nasty one there. Go on, Rishi, be strong. Dawson. And, of course, the foul goes to Wolves. It's a bit of carnage there. There was some head tennis being done. But Rishi gives away a foul in a kind of 50-50 with Craig Dawson going for a header.
Do you know what bothered me about that passage of play there? Kulu's in a great position. We're in a great position down on that right. Yet, we've just turned the ball over and it's amounted to zilch. Yeah,
well, I thought it was a foul. So Alt-Nouri was lucky there, you know, because if our play... So there was a 50-50 with Alt-Nouri, and after he gets the ball, his studs go up into the groin of whoever he was having the 50-50. And if our player dived on the floor, it could have got him sent off there.
Do you think that's a red card?
No, I don't think it would be a red card, but in this day and age of VAR slowing everything down, you know, that's how Curtis Jones got sent off against us for Liverpool, and that's how, obviously, Basuma got sent off for us earlier in the season, and Romero against Chelsea. But anyway, 0-0. The game has got a little bit of a lull in it now, and O'Neill talking to his men, as is the way of Premier League managers now. They love to talk to their players around 20 minutes. But O'Neill, I think, will be very happy. The thing that I find frustrating and have done for the last couple of months is just our lack of control of the game, especially in midfield. We never, for any elongated period of time, seem to have control of the ball and putting the opposition under pressure, actually, except when we go a goal down. And when we go a goal down, then the opposition kind of goes back about 5 or 10%. Mentality-wise and kind of almost literally on the pitch, and then we seem to kind of get up a bit of a head of steam.
It's an odd one. It's an odd one, Barnaby. What I find strange as well is that, you know, you would have thought with Sonny coming back, we'd look like a bit more of an attacking threat in this game. But to be honest with you, they've looked like more of a threat than us so far.
Totally.
That's a worry for me. What is not quite linking up in terms of the style of the play, the midfielders, the wingers, that were not creating enough. And that's why I was getting so frustrated with that last little passage of play there, because, you know, you're doing well, you've got the ball down that side. At least get the ball in the box. At least put a ball in. Let the ball go out for a corner, then if they clear it, or, you know, maybe someone gets a chance, whatever. But just to turn it over and give them the ball it's really wasteful.
So Mario Lemina, the Wolves player, has been down on the ground for a couple of minutes now, and they're just doing a concussion check with him, I think. They've already kind of checked his neck and stuff like that.
Seems all right.
I think he'll probably be okay, yeah.
Decent player, Lemina.
Can I just say to everybody watching at home, thank you so much for your support. Please do press that like button. We're on 273 likes. Let's try and get it to 1,000. Press that like button.
Guys.
And also, if you want to see my daily show, the Spurred On podcast, click in the title at @BarnabySlater_. Give me a subscribe. That'd be brilliant. And also, go and subscribe to Amir Tottenham on Tour. Make that happen, guys. Thank you for those likes. They're coming in now. The game is about to restart, hopefully. That will add another couple of minutes on the end of this first half. And Wolves have the free kick just outside their box, which Jose Sarr is going to take.
Look at that high line, eh?
Yeah, they're just going to... That's what they were in the open training session. There was a whole 20 minutes with just the defence practicing those free kicks over the top of them from the high line.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then kind of defending the second ball. And what it was, there was a free man that ball was going over the top of them to out wide, and them trying to stop the cross or stop the win from the cross, which is what we see a lot. Anyway, the game starts again. Bissouma now just, I think, looking to try and take the game by the scruff of the neck a little, trying to get the ball off everyone it goes to at the moment. It's come to Sarr in that little right-hand side. It comes out to Kulusevski. Into Emerson Royal.
I'd actually go as far as saying Biss has been our best player so far today.
Yeah, definitely. It's very, very, like, Wolves very happy to keep it all as narrow as possible, knowing that that's where we like most of our team to be. Ben Davis on the left here gets a cross in, out for a throw in, but that was a good position for Ben.
Yeah.
Max Kilman, obviously a player that Spurs have previously been linked with, now the captain of Wolves. It was him who cleared that one out. Sonny gets the ball to Romero, who plays it, a lovely dink ball out to Sonny on the left-hand side. Is he going to get an early cross in? Yes, he does.
Ball.
It was a brilliant ball.
Oh, unlucky. Come on, Kulu. You've got to get in front of your defender.
Beautiful cross. Beautiful cross. And I like to see that because obviously Richarlison is good in the air, and it just went over his head, and then Kulusevski just made a slightly late run to the back post and didn't get on it. But that was a beautiful left-footed, out-swinging cross.
That's finally a little bit better from Tottenham there, you know, creating something off that left wing, putting a ball into the box, creating some havoc. That's what I want to see more of. That's it, lads.
Nice. Lovely from Kulusevski, Richarlison and Sarr there.
Beautiful. One more.
Oh, he's going to foul him. Yeah.
No.
Wolves have won the ball back.
He had Royale
Biss
there.
did well there, but unfortunately it's gone back to Wolves player. And Wolves now 3-on-3 at the back.
He's just
Mickey
so
van der Ven.
good.
Just unbelievably good. And a good ball from Vicario to Royal as well in central midfield, although he's turned the wrong way there.
Oh, no. Royale.
Everybody could see that. We've lost the ball again. Neto has it in our box now.
We had so many players there that he could have just knocked it off to.
Just saw he was in midfield, and it was a lovely ball to him for Vicario, but he turned the wrong way and was easily had the ball nicked off him. Yeah. Anyway,
very sloppy.
Goes back to the halfway line, and Wolves now playing it around, have some space on the right. And they have more space. There's going to be a free cross in here, and Van der Ven is out of position. It's come to the back stick chance over the bar. Is it? No, it's just been cleared. Well done, second clearance from Royal. But Wolves look very, very good in the transition, making lots of nice, certainly getting in lots of nice areas. Neto in on the left again. Romero. That's a poor cross from Neto, that. Off for a throw-in. Off for a goal kick, sorry. Yeah, they just seem better at kind of working on transition, making chances or getting in good areas at the moment. The crowd getting a little bit antsy, it's fair to say, with 22 minutes gone. And Spurs kind of playing in a very similar way to how they played in the last 2 months, I'd say.
Yeah.
Van der Ven, though, what we saw there, why I kind of scoffed with laughter, is Wolves were in a great position 3-on-3, and Van der Ven just put on the afterburners and took the ball off them like taking candy from a baby. What a player.
But he makes it look as if he's playing against babies. That's how good this Van der Ven is.
Yeah.
I mean, the golfing class between him and others is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And for such a big guy, he moves so quickly across the pitch.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Very lucky to have him. Very lucky.
Maddison now kind of moving more around on the pitch to try and get on the ball to really kind of be the key master here. And that's a nice ball from Romero into Bissouma's feet, who was a little further forward than Maddison.
It's all in front of them, though.
Well, of course it is, because
Yeah.
like this is a little bit of how Ange Ball, teams have watched how to do better against Ange Ball, and they keep it narrow, keep 11 men behind the ball, and make us do the work. Well, that's what we have to do at home, and we're going to have to, find a special way to get past it.
But here we go. This is what I want to see more of. Runs in deep, getting the balls in the box. It's all well and good knocking it around here, the 6-yard box and the penalty box. But we need to create some. Here we go. This
lovely
is a bit
ball
better.
from Decky.
That's it. One more.
Oh, unlucky Madders.
But that's better. That's what I want to see a bit more of. Runners from deep.
They're so quick on the counter-attack, Wolves. They've kicked it off the pitch, which I appreciate. But every time we lose the ball, because we're committing men forward to try and get that chance outside the box, they just win the ball back very quickly, and then they're right at us, 2-on-2 at the back, or 3-on-3.
Come on,
I can see what he was trying to do there, at least.
Yeah. See the idea, just the execution was a bit off.
Just need to get Madders on the ball in some space a bit more, I think.
It just losing the ball like that, it annoys me.
That's an issue. Yeah, so that's an issue there. Son went for the big press, but Davis didn't go behind him, and then it was easy for them to play out of it. But we're pressing a bit higher up the pitch, and that leads to some applause from.
That's better, yeah.
From
That's
the fans.
better. Look, we won it back. Well done.
Well done, Ben. And Davis wins a throw in there.
That's a bit better though from Tottenham. It's a little bit better. I think we're working our way into this game. If we can nick a little sneaky goal here before half time.
Yeah, I'd love us to nick a sneaky 4 goals. That's what I'd love.
Sneaky 4, yeah? Yeah. Just a sneaky 4.
Pat Matasar showing for Kulusevski. That's an important run because
that's it.
Well, that's a foul.
Come on, yeah, please, thank you. And where's the yellow card for that? He's running in behind there. Surely.
So that's a foul because Pat Matasar made a lovely run inside of Kulusevski, lays it into him, and then just gets a touch on it in front of the defender and is taken out just outside the box on the side of the pitch.
Elbowed him in the ribs.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the second half, it's a yellow card for sure.
But why does it make a difference if it's the first minute of the game or the 25th? I don't understand it. To me, that's a yellow card.
No, I agree, yeah.
Every day of the year.
I absolutely agree, unless it's a Spurs player doing it, in which case it's absolutely not. So, free kick now. Maddison standing over it. It's on the right-hand side. It's on the right-hand side of the penalty area. I wonder if he's going to be looking for someone to cut it back to have a shot here.
I think he's going to chip it up to the back post and hope, one of Romero or Davies gets his head on it.
I think the danger is if he tries to chip it up, it could just kind of be cleared by one of the first men or looped. Kulusevski
fired with pace.
In a way, yeah, it's almost tempting to just whack it across and maybe hope it gets an own goal or something, like accidentally flicked off a defender. But he looks like he's going to try and dink it. On a bit of pace on it, hits the first man. Sarr on the volley. Air shot.
Missed it.
Chance for Rashid. Oh, well defended by Craig Dawson, who gets in behind him.
Spurs. Come on, Tottenham. This is a good bit of pressure for us.
That's a corner. One thing I will say is against Brentford in their previous game that Wolves lost 2-0, the first goal came from a corner that was whipped in, and they totally lost a man running into the 6-yard box who scored easily. So I would love that to be repeated here as Maddison goes to take the corner. Back in those first 10 games, we were taking a lot of short corners. Doesn't seem to be something he's going for at the moment. In it comes. It's a good ball. Dawson. The ball is just magnetic to Dawson's head.
Good clearance.
Yeah, really good. Back to Maddison, out wide. Sonny makes a nice run for him. Turns his man.
So good.
Well done, Sonny. Just cleared again by Kilman that time. But Sonny did well to turn him and get to the byline there. Another corner for Spurs. Good little couple of minutes here for Spurs.
Very good. Very decent little spell here.
I've got to try and get it away from Dawson's head. Dawson and Kilman, both very big men, obviously. Spurs are standing 3 men on the goal, in and around the goalkeeper to try and recreate what Spurs have had to deal with over the last couple of months. That's going to be the keeper, isn't it? I'll tell you what, keeper didn't get it, and then
what a scramble!
And Wolves get it away. There was a 6-yard box scramble there. Well done, Bissoumu wins it back. Give it to Romero. Good. Find something, Christian. Gives it out to Decky. Oh, nice idea from Kulusevski. A little bent ball. Sonny made a run outside to in, but it just had too much on it. Goes into Sarr's hands. Yeah, the co-commentator is saying that Spurs are just starting to put balls into the box, and I think that's a good plan at the moment.
Yeah.
Because also, if nothing else, it means that Wolves will have to think twice about how they defend us out wide. You know, whereas before, it's very much like, well, you know Spurs aren't going to really put many crosses in. Lovely football. Into Richarlison's feet. Plays a terrible ball.
Come on.
Oh, Rishi. The easier thing was just to...
Sloppy. It's just sloppy.
He tries to kind of hit it first time after controlling it, and Maddison had so much space, but he plays it behind him. It's disappointing.
It's just sloppy, you know, and you're on the attack there. You've got 3 men forward in the attack.
Oh, lovely. Lovely play from Wolves.
Oh, no.
Altnouri is in down the right and beats Emerson Royal and Neto. Oh, stop diving in, like 8 players diving in.
Wow,
and the only one able to do it successfully is, of course, Mickey van der Ven.
Saving the day.
Get rid of it, Vicario. Get rid of it. Get rid of it, mate.
But Royale's also got to be careful that the way he went in with his studs forward, it's very dangerous. Yeah. Very dangerous.
A lovely ball actually from Vicario out to Son, who sadly wasn't able to control it, and Wolves have it back on the halfway line. Anyway, Richarlison not been great with his touch so far, but he is, as ever, working his nuts off. Oh, they're in here. They're in. It's Hwang. It's going to have a dig. Oh, Van der Ven has dived in. Big chance for Wolves here. Big chance for Wolves here. Stand up, Biss. Well done, Bissouma.
What a challenge. Come on, Biss.
And then a lovely pass, and we're on the break. Is he in? Oh, he's not in, but Richarlison...
Go on, Richie. Go on. Off you go. Just take him on. Go on, Richie. Take him on.
Not sure he should take him on.
He should. Oh, unlucky.
Richarlison tried to pick out James Maddison, and then he's... Fucking hell, Richarlison.
Petulance there by Richie.
That's frustration from Richarlison, because... Wolves, he tried to play the right ball into Maddison. It got stopped.
It was blocked.
And then he is frustrated about it, so he slides in on Dawson and gives away a foul when they've then passed it back to our midfield. It's just frustration. It's just not... What I'd say is it's just not top level from Richarlison.
It's not.
That would have been onside, I think.
Yep.
They're just showing the replay. Spurs do a lot of this diving in the box. This was lovely from Bissouma, though, blocking a shot at the back stick and then playing a beautiful pass into midfield that led to a transition for Spurs.
The way he stayed on his feet as well was really, really professional.
Half an hour gone. Oh, Jesus Christ, Emerson Royal.
It's heart in your mouth stuff there by Royale. Oh, one-time ball in the back to his defender. Unbelievable. What a guy.
Oh, Mickey. Does well. Very brave. Very brave. Lovely from Ben Davis. Got to hold it, Sonny. Doesn't.
Foul. Come on.
He's the one who's... he's won the foul there, Son. Yeah. I thought he might have given away a foul.
They've been kicking him all game.
Sonny's still on the ground. Hope he's okay. Ref still choosing to keep his cards in his pocket. I thought Sonny took maybe a touch too far on the ball here. Oh, no, he stood on him. Yeah.
He's clattered into him.
That's a foul. That's a yellow, I think.
That's a yellow. That's 2 yellows there for me. Should have had.
Gomez there with the foul.
Gomez and who was it that elbowed? I think it was Lamina or one of those guys. Maybe Sarabia.
Anyway, Spurs getting a bit more joy in midfield at the moment, I think, just in the last couple of minutes.
We've definitely been on top since the 25th minute. Started to build into this game, those corners, putting pressure on.
Yeah, Madders coming deep. He seems to... Maddison, it's almost like Maddison and Bissouma have slightly swapped areas a little bit to try and draw Wolves out. Oh, nice ball there from Decky.
Unlucky.
No. Ref did well there. Wolves player dives on the floor. He's still pretending to be injured, and the ref didn't give it. Oh, but now we have been fouled in midfield.
And now he's going to want a stretcher, isn't he?
Don't get called into a scrap. This is what opposition teams have learned to do well, is really make it physical against Spurs. Try and wind us up and get us away from playing our natural game.
And we've crumbled at points, right? You think about that Chelsea game where we absolutely mentally just crumbled.
Definitely. Nah.
Oh, come off it. Come off it. He's gone off. The Wolves player is going over there as if, you know, he's been taken out by a rocket launcher, and Sarr hasn't actually caught him. It's just...
Anyway, Spurs back on the ball. Royal out to Kulusevski. I wouldn't mind him just get a cross in here, but he actually lays it into Papsao, who makes a nice run towards the byline.
That's it. Go on, Kulu.
Oh, actually, Royal just nicked it off Kulu's foot. Good stuff. Bissouma in some space. Never sticks there, though, does it, unfortunately? But anyway. We lose the ball.
Unlucky,
Kick it out for
unlucky.
a throw-in. But that's some nice intricate play in there. But the problem is it never sticks at the 9, does it? It never sticks at Richarlison's feet with his back to goal very well.
It's also that final ball, you know. You think to when Richie was through there and tried to thread the ball to Maddison, was it, running in?
Yeah.
You know, that ball goes through, it's basically a goal. You're one-on-one with the keeper.
Yeah.
I think sometimes,
Stand up, Sar. Well done.
do just lack that final
Well
ball.
done, Ben Davis in centre midfield there. It was cleared out to him and he had to take a good touch and he did and found a player. Well done.
Who's showing for him? Come on.
Nah, that's going to be their throw, isn't it? Yeah. Bit scrappy. Yeah, a bit scrappy
static.
down the right-hand side at the moment. 0-0, 33 minutes gone, but there will, I think, be at least 6 minutes of added to go at the end of this half. But so far, I think Wolves will be very happy, and Spurs just kind of playing their way into it a little bit.
Go on, quickly. That's it, Mbappe.
Oh, that's a weird ball. Sonny.
He's lost it.
That was a strange ball from Ben Davis there. But good press kind of makes them go backwards as a result, and Richarlison's going to press the goalkeeper.
Richie's tirelessly hunting the ball down there, but
Wolves have played their way beautifully out.
No one's going
And
with
wins a
him.
foul. He better not book him here. He better not book him.
He is.
Better not book him because there have been so many that Wolves have done and he hasn't booked him. It's Ben Davis.
Is he just having a word? It's just a word for now.
It's just a word. But that'll be the last one in this game that isn't a booking, I bet. Let's have a look what happens here. He plays the ball down the line.
He's just a bit late, that's all.
Oh, yeah, it's a bad foul, actually. He's trying to
just
get the
a
ball.
bit-
He misses.
yeah,
It's quite late.
It's late. It's late. But it happens. Sometimes you're committed to a challenge, and
Oh, yeah.
you know the ball's not there. But look, the scenes. This is what you know. Is there actually anything wrong with him? He's
No,
done
he's fine.
3 rolls.
And also cleverly rolling back onto the pitch.
Yeah, 3 rolls, and the third one's brought him right back onto the pitch.
There was a bit of a cheer from the crowd there. I wonder if somebody did get booked while we were watching the replay. The ref now is having a word with the Wolves player.
Has he booked the Wolves player?
And O'Neill is having a go. Something's definitely happened that's wound up Wolves there, because O'Neill's having a go at the 4th official, I think. But anyway, Wolves now have the ball back in their 18-yard box and play it long. Oh, it's
Come on, Tottenham, win it back.
that's beautiful from Wolves, to be fair. And Romero fouls out Nouri. I never know how to say his name. Is it Ait Nouri? Ait Nouri?
I thought it was Ait Nouri.
Ait Nouri, okay.
But
there
I
we
don't
go.
know if that's correct. I
No.
thought it was just Ait Nouri.
Okay, the ball comes back out to Wolves on the right-hand side of their back 4. And Spurs putting the press on again. And this time they've won it back.
That's
Van der
well
Ven.
done. Go on. Push on now. Go on, Mickey. Go on,
Oh,
James.
what a ball into Maddis.
Go on.
Oh, tell you what, he's just cut it back, Maddison there. Is it Kulusevski running in, who gets a nudge in the back and puts it wide? It's one of those ones where almost like you'd rather he didn't have the shot, like feel the nudge, go down, win a penalty.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get given it.
Or James, have a shot yourself. He was in a great position.
I think Maddis, because he was on his left side, is the reason he didn't. It was a beautiful ball from Van der Ven. Yeah, it's not enough of a nudge for it to be anything else. Bit of a poor finish in the end from Kulusevski, but
Yeah.
good to see him in that position and
But that's
good link-up play.
dangerous. Yeah, that's dangerous. That's more of what we want to see.
Yeah. Wolves go long with this goal kick into midfield.
We've definitely been...
Big win from Pap Sarr. Lovely stuff. And a bad ball again from Richarlison, but we win a throw-in.
We've definitely been on the up and up for the last 15 minutes here. It's just about creating that opportunity, that goal-scoring opportunity.
Yeah. It's hard to make chances when, you know, opposition are playing 11 behind the ball. That's just the way it goes.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's one thing saying that they're playing a low block, which they are, but the way that they spring out of it when they win the ball is very impressive. TV director making us watch things we don't want to see. Well done, Emerson Royal. Use your strength. Well done. And
Ref.
wins a good foul there, Royal.
Could that not be a yellow card from behind, you know? I think this ref's got his card stuck to his pocket or something.
Yeah, Royal did well there. He was brave on the ball.
Look, he's pulled him, yanked him down from behind.
It's more that he stopped a break, really.
Yeah.
Okay, comes out to
Here
Son.
we go.
Comes back into Pap Sarr in central midfield.
Biss is there. Biss is there. That's it. Nicky.
And Royal in the inverted role, central midfield. Now, Decky, good chance to get the ball in the box if he fancies it. And he will. That's a bad one. Hits the first man. Well cleared by Mickey van der Ven. It hits the ref, and it's got to be a drop ball there.
Has to be.
It hit the ref on the head, and it's gone to Wolves, who are basically in. So this has to be surely like a genuine drop ball.
That bounce off the ref was so beneficial for Wolves. They'll be steaming.
It has to be a genuine drop ball, this, because if they give this to Wolves, it's ridiculous because the ball was going toward... I'm not sure if we would have got the ball, actually. Maybe
Who knows, though? Who knows?
Yeah.
It would have been a second ball. So, yeah, it should be a drop ball here.
Don't see many genuine drop balls anymore. Is it going to be one?
I think it is.
Madders wants a piece of it if there is.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually do them anymore, you know. But there's an argument here as to who's going to get the ball.
It's got to be us, though. We're the ones who got the last touch before.
The ball was going forward towards our play, like as in towards us. Yeah, we have got the ball. Okay, get it out to Decky and get a cross in. Royale. Oh, he does get another cross. It's a good ball as well. Richarlison didn't think Royal was going to do that because if he had, he makes that run to the near post.
He scores.
And he usually scores. He just got there a bit late this time. That was great from Emerson Royal, you know.
Very good ball.
Very
good
impressed
ball.
with that from Emerson.
Very good ball. We kind of slate him going forward, you know, a bit.
No,
but
that was good.
That was actually very,
He didn't take a touch
decent.
on it. He just hit it first time. Yes, and a foul as Huang kind of tries to win a header against Romero by barging him. And Romero didn't move, and we won the free kick. I'm very impressed with these passes from Van der Ven out. They're very crisp. He plays these nice balls out towards Son or Davis that get there a lot quicker than a lot of our players kind of zip their passes in.
True.
38 minutes gone. I'm expecting there to be another kind of 8 minutes added on.
Yeah, it's been fairly stop-start, hasn't it? A few little injuries, niggles.
It goes all the way back to Vicario. Van der Ven, Bissouma and Romero offering him options.
Apart from that first save in the first few minutes, can you think of anything Vic has had to do?
No, but the other keeper hasn't had to make anything.
No, true.
And Wolves pressing us high here. It comes to Vicario. He plays it into Royal, who makes a lovely angle for him. Now do it easy, Royal. Oh, he's kicked it off the pitch. There's just no need to kick that in the air even.
No. He's apologising, which he should be.
Just after he's done something really good, he can do it easy and instead kicks it off the pitch.
The enigma that is Emerson Royal.
Yeah, and for anyone not watching, it wasn't that he kicked it off the pitch close to him. He tried to play a crossfield ball that wasn't needed in the air. It was only a 15, 20-yard ball and just loops it off the sidelines. Anyway, Wolves now being pressed back in their back line and go long down into the channel.
Good press. Very good press.
Well done by Neto, though. Stand up, Biss.
Go on, Biss.
Wolves keeping the ball nicely. And Richarlison working hard off the ball. A big diag from Craig Dawson. Loads of space out there for Wolves. Madders, you got to get over there and help him.
Close him down, Ben. Close him down.
Another big diag goes out to the other side to Pedro Neto, who's up against Royal with Kulusevski helping him, so it goes backwards. Can they win that? Decky does, but unfortunately it bounces straight to a Wolves player. Now space for Neto out wide, and there's a run for him. Oh, he's kicked off the pitch, has he? No, it's a corner. Oh, yeah, it is a corner, yeah. Royal did all right there. Neto got to the byline. Royal followed him, slid in, and just kicks it off. Is this the first corner we've conceded of the game? Might be. Let's see what they do with Vicario. Will they follow the other teams with that kind of late runner coming in to block his ability to come and claim the ball? That's what Brighton did very well. Actually, it's Craig Dawson at the moment standing on him with Emerson Royal going with him. Oh, and they've taken it short. And there's a free cross on here. Nobody even closing down the cross, which winds me up so much. He had 15 yards to make a cross. You cannot allow that at this level. So poor. It's something tactical as well, because we've been doing it all season, not closing down deep crosses, and we've conceded goals from it. Another corner to Wolves.
I tell you what, a better ball in there, that's a goal.
Of course it is. It comes across as lazy as well. Okay, here comes the ball. Can Vic come? He chooses not to, and they've scored 1-0. João Gomez, free header from a corner. Nobody challenged him. Heads it into the top corner.
Fantastic header.
Fantastic header. It's no one challenging him.
No, you're right.
Same pattern. Same pattern. Every game at the moment.
But you can't fault them. Look, they've been the better side.
Yeah.
They've been the better side.
In swinging corner coming into your kind of around your 6-yard box.
You've got to be the first to that.
Got to be the first to it. Could the keeper come and try and get a glove on it?
I think it's a bit far out for the keeper.
Yeah, maybe.
He's on the edge of the 6-yard box.
7 yards out.
No, it's who's marking him. Someone's just let him go.
Oh, he's free the whole time. Nobody's on him the whole time. Look, just watching him.
That's ridiculous.
Just embarrassing.
That's ridiculous.
That's zonal marking right there.
That's ridiculous.
Just embarrassing. So easy.
He hasn't even moved.
He's also, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but he looks about 5'8".
It's ridiculous.
Well, as ever, Tottenham now need to up their game.
We didn't expect an easy afternoon, did we, Barnaby?
No, we didn't, but
it's not good enough. I agree with you. It's simply not good enough. What gets my goat as well is that we haven't created one single opportunity to put the ball in the back of their net. Not one. Not one.
We've got in a couple of good areas, but we've not made a chance, and that's because Wolves are tactically playing it well, and it's hard to break down these teams when they play like this.
I'm fuming.
Yeah. Don't lose it there, Decky. He's done well. Oh, God, Richarlison every fucking time.
A good ball there and he's in.
Fucking doesn't have to do everything first fucking time. He's not good enough to do it.
Come on, Sonny. Go on, run at him. Do it yourself.
No, poor ball. It's a goal kick. Look, I stick up for Richarlison. I think he's a good finisher. I think he's got more than a lot of people think he has, but he's been dog shit today. Horrible on the ball. He'll always work hard and good. That's the least that's required, but his hold-up play and his ability to find a man in little positions where all he has to do is find a 5-yard pass, piss poor today, so far. 44 minutes.
I have to agree with you on that one, Barnaby. He hasn't been at his best. We saw some of this loose passing as well against Brighton. But it's kind of been against the grain because for the last 10 games he's been, fantastic and he's been finding the net. And actually some of his build-up play has been all right. But, yeah, it's definitely been off it today. But again, you've got a striker like Richie that feeds off,
chances.
any off chances.
Yeah.
So create him those chances.
Yeah.
He hasn't had one.
No.
Not one.
That's true. Spurs just getting themselves in a bit of trouble down by the touchline here.
But then sometimes what you want from your striker as well, if you're not creating chances, this is what Harry Kane would do. He'd slip back a little bit. He'd start creating the chances for other people. But Richie doesn't really have that in his game. No, he doesn't have it.
So the crowd just really angry because the ref's only given 4 added minutes on this half, which is a joke considering how the Wolves players have been diving around.
Very short.
Oh, Madders he can turn there. Someone give him a shout. Okay, comes out to Royal. And that's a foul. The ref doesn't give a foul again. And Wolves back in now on the left-hand side with Neto. And they're in down the left with Lamina. Perhaps are working hard to stop the cross this time, but telegraphed, and the game now is buffering at just the wrong time for us. So we actually do not know what's happening as it hits 45 minutes 45. Vinny, can you come and refresh it, please? Thank you. For those watching at home, if you haven't been watching so far, it's 1-0 to Wolves. Gomez with the goal on the 41st minute from a corner. And we've got the game back now. Looks like Wolves had a good cross in, and they were all offside. And, they should have scored. It was all offside. They should have scored, but Vicario has actually made an unbelievable save.
Unbelievable save.
But Wolves making chances, as ever.
But that's a threat. Look. When can you say we've put in one good ball like that?
No, we haven't.
We haven't put in anything. This is where I'm getting frustrated, and I'm not here to call him out, but Ange needs to find a solution for this. This is Ange's team. This is Ange's ball. So for me, you need to find a solution to this for whatever's going on. If you're not managing to create enough chances, figure it out.
Good ball from Madders out to Sonny, who's driving at his fullback. Lovely
Come
outside.
on.
Chance!
Go on!
Oh,
unlucky.
It's a corner.
Better,
that was good football.
That's better.
I saw that they drilled that all day at the open training session. Ball comes out wide to Son, and then the fullback makes the run to the byline. Oh, and a good cross from Ben Davies. It was just unlucky that Madders, who was running in, just couldn't get his foot on it, and it's cleared for a corner.
That's better, though. Come on, let's nick a little goal before half-time. Come on, Tottenham.
No, I agree with you about the Ange ball thing, and actually, to be fair, in the last few games we've had to do that, and we have. Again, a free header for Wolves from that corner, And it gets cleared. And Bissouma's just played a terrible header.
But he's won it back.
No, he hasn't.
Oh, no.
Oh, they were very nearly through on goal there, but Royale did well.
Go on, Sonny.
Wolves doing well in midfield here. Playing some really good stuff. It's a great cross from Neto, cleared from Ben Davies at the back. Ait Nouri outside the box, going to get it in. There's a big chance here for Wolves. They can get the cross in. And they just go, he goes for the far corner and it goes wide.
That was greedy.
That was a bit greedy, yeah. Wolves are much more dangerous than Spurs, has to be said.
They are.
He's had a dig towards the far... It's not far away from the top corner, that. Sarabia with the shot. Wolves have worked really hard this half. Spurs need to stay in this for now and then hope to change it up a little bit second half. There might be a possibility into the second half, which we did a few games ago. Was it against Brentford, where he brought on a second kind of creative midfielder, which... Although I think Sarr has done all right, but it would be for Sarr. You'd assume Bissouma would stay. And
Bentancur.
No, I'm thinking more like Lo Celso, to be honest. Lo Celso's on the bench. Yeah, like Bentancur's not a naturally creative player in the way Lo Celso is. But the thing is, we're already being kind of cut open as they transition against us, and Lo Celso wouldn't help with defending that, that's for sure.
No, I don't think this is a game for... Well, maybe,
it's about to be given half-time, and I bet there are boos in the stadium. Madders, good ball to Royale. Get it across the box, Emo! Oh, it's a good cross. Keeper does well. And that's half-time. There's the odd boo. I wouldn't call it a cacophony of boos by any means. But that is another disappointing first half for Tottenham Hotspur at home. A few in a row. And to say that the comments aren't delighted about it would be an understatement as well. Not really many men on the Spurs side covering themselves with glory here, I wouldn't say. No. We think Bissouma's done well considering it's his first start for a while. But other than that, Sarr kind of, as ever, his engine running, getting across the pitch well. Maddison trying to get on the ball, but as ever, while playing against these teams who come to White Hart Lane and like to, try and get a result, they're keeping it narrow, asking us to kind of get it round the back and round the sides, and we're playing balls into the box, but they're not coming off and no one's getting on the end of them.
No one's getting on the end of anything. We haven't created enough chances to say that we're in this game. No. At the moment, Wolves look comfortable. Every time they go forward, you feel that there's a threat on. It's been a frustrating watch, to be honest with you, Barnaby. And I really do hope, I don't get why it needs to come to this every single match, that we go into half-time, Ange gives them a rocket up the you-know-what, and then suddenly they come out and it's a different performance second half. I
mean, at this point, that's all I'm grabbing onto, to be honest. So I don't want to talk that possibility down almost.
Yeah, I hear you, and obviously I want to see them come out and do well. But you've got to ask yourself the question: what is going on? What are we doing tactically, setting ourselves up? What are we doing wrong to come out and not even create one good opportunity in the first half?
I think it's just one of those things where if you don't get an early goal, then it breeds confidence into the opposition. And Wolves are just playing that tactical narrow shape within the boundaries of their own 18-yard box. And they're saying to us, okay, well, you want to kind of cram all of your players into that tiny space. Well, we're going to make it even more busy. And especially in a game like today where we haven't got the technical quality of Porro and Destiny Udogie in that space as well, you're asking players like Emerson Royale and Ben Davies, who are coming in and out of that space, to play passes that they're not able to play. And then inevitably, and Richarlison as well isn't holding the ball up well. So it's breaking back to Wolves pretty easily, and they are getting on the ball and looking more dangerous as a result. It's quite simple, and it's exactly how they want it to be, and exactly, they should have scored at least one more than they have. We're not defending well from set pieces. I'd argue that we haven't all season. It's been more like the eye test because the stats don't really back that up. Like the stats say that we're kind of third best for defending from corners, I think. But in terms of defending kind of corners and deep crosses, we never get our head on the first ball. And the goal that they scored, just embarrassing. It's like under 10 stuff. You can't allow, nobody lets us have free headers from corners.
It's ridiculous.
So don't do it.
It's absolutely ridiculous. The goal they scored, you have to question everything about that, the way we go about defending corners. Because how can you have someone who's just unmarked completely?
Yeah. Got a super chat here from Nico. Thank you for writing in. He says, stop being so negative. Spurs have been terrible and only 1-0 down. I'm not sure I'm not sure how you can ask to stop being so negative. It's been a negative performance. I think if you asked Ange Postecoglou, is that anything you can talk positively about? I think he'd say no. It's not good enough. We've got better players than Wolves, and they are set up in a way where they are making us look bad. So we need to try and find something different to do. And it is, it's the team you're passionate about. When you're passionate and it's not going well, you're going to be negative. But
100%. And I think we have the right to be negative. Like, at the end of the day, this match, if you had said everything was the opposite, I might have believed you. We were the team fighting to get in the Europa League spots, and Wolves were the team in the Champions League spots, and they're at home and we're away. Because that's what it seems like to me. The way Wolves are so comfortable on our patch is just infuriating. It's infuriating. It looks way too easy for them to come here and play the game that they want. And we're not finding any solutions to that low block. You're saying, yeah, they've come to play the way they play. They are. But what can we do? We saw in that last minute there, you get behind the lines, you get those balls into the box, you're creating a bit of havoc. Emerson with a good ball in that Richie could have been a bit more aware to, get on the end of that. There's things that we can do, we can be proactive about to nullify their game. And I feel like we've just played into their hands tactically. I think tactically we've got this one all wrong in the first half. Completely wrong.
There have been games recently where we've been 1-0 down, and it has seemed like Ange Postecoglou said at halftime, we need to play wider, we need to keep wider, hug that touchline a bit more. So it'll be interesting to see whether that changes a little bit in the second half. Gabrielle in the comments is asking for, and I was going to speak about this anyway, but I'm glad he wrote in, is there something to be said for bringing Sonny into the 9 and even either moving Richarlison left or bringing on Werner? I would say I would rather try Richarlison on the left before bringing on Werner straight away and leave Werner for the last 20 minutes or so. Elliot NY says, decent commentary, but you guys whine too much like little girls. It's your tone. Laughing smiley face. Well, thanks for the sweet engagement, mate. Roberto Villegas, thank you for the super chat. Concerning set pieces, could we be too worried on giving away a pen? Still needed to be better in defending. You don't give away many pens defending corners realistically. There are so many arms around everyone at the moment. It very rarely gets given. So I see where you're coming from, but to suggest that the way to deal with that is to allow, well, I'm not saying you're suggesting that, but the one thing you can't do is allow someone who's about 5'6", 5'8", a free header from 7 yards out, because they're going to score. Alex Aylott has said this. I did see this. I wanted to mention it. Unfortunately, Arsenal 2-0 up and Villa winning as well. So at the moment, it could not be a worse day. And we need to... The reason I think we talked about maybe the possibility of moving Sonny out to the left... into the number 9 and Richarlison out wide is that we're not making Sonny any chances. No. He's getting on the ball and he's, driving at his defender and then waiting for the run from Ben Davies or James Maddison. But he's our elite finisher, our top-level finisher. We need to make him some chances. So something has to change. The good news is I love Ange Postecoglou, and he will see it just the way we're seeing it, I'm sure, and we'll try and make something happen. Simon Ulster says, ball retention a problem again. We're being muscled off the ball time and time again. That's completely true. The physicality, we mentioned it, right, Amir?
Yeah, no, I agree. We've made it way too easy for them. Every single time we get into a threatening position, down the left or down the right, we end up losing the ball or just giving the ball back to them without having any type of threat on goal. Not winning a corner, not winning a free kick, not putting a ball into the box, not creating a nice pass, passing move, nice triangles, trying something new, nothing. There's just absolutely nothing there. So for me, I want to see a 180 spin here in that second half. Yeah. And I want to see us really get at them. Use those wings, because there is space. There's a few times I've looked in that game and you can see Sonny's in acres of space or Kulu's on his own. So there is space there to be had. Do I think we need a second half change maybe? Possibly.
There's a few comments saying that people can't hear you. So I don't know if you want to move the mic a bit closer, and Vinny, I don't know if you want to turn him up a little bit.
There we go. See if that's
yeah. Emmanuel Mutugi says Rishi is tired. The football flow is ending at Rishi's feet. That is definitely true.
That's true.
Stitchy though says, I find it unfair how we concede one goal and we go get Richie out. Look, I know what you're saying. I'm not blaming Rishi. Rishi's not responsible for us losing the game, but he is somewhat responsible for us not holding the ball up well enough. And a key part of this way of playing is that the 9 needs to get on the ball and bring other players into it. And it just bounces off him a bit. And I'm not saying he's actually got bad control. It's his decision making, I think, a lot of the time, in my opinion. He's trying to do something that's almost like, take another touch, mate. get your foot on it and then give the 5-yard ball to Maddison instead of trying to do it first time and it goes behind him.
Yeah, it's a bit rushed. I would say it's a bit rushed. It's like his balls against Brighton, you know, in that opening few minutes. I can remember him misplacing a few balls and the whole crowd groaning. And I understand where it comes from because it's a 5-yard ball. It's not that you're asking him to ping 60-yard, you know, floated balls onto someone's foot. So, you know, I am expecting a little bit more from Richie. It's not all on him, though. Again, you've got to provide service. You know, your striker, we know how great he is in the air. So, Kulu, Sonny, not Porro, but...
Royal?
Yeah, Royale, Davies. Everyone needs to be pushing forward and getting those balls in off the wing, putting in some good aerial deliveries and giving him something to feed off, you know.
Yeah.
He can't... He's not the type of striker that can just create something out of nothing for himself. He's not that type of guy, really, Richie.
Yeah, so Invert the Wing on Twitter, who's a bit of a kind of coaching Twitter guy. Give him a follow if you like that kind of thing. He's also pretty forthright with his views. That's why I follow him. I find it quite funny. Anyway, he says, this is what I mean. A lot of Tottenham fans are more attracted to players' personalities and aura as opposed to their actual ability. Ridiculously low standards. I have said Emerson is not good enough and that today Spurs would have a lack of creativity. People told me no, he's been good this season. Richarlison had a honeymoon period. His flaws outside of scoring were obvious, but I was told to let it go. Football is more than just goals. Look how wasted Son is being played on the wing. About 3 opportunities where his movement could have created a goal. There's not a lot I disagree with there. Look, I love Emerson Royal as a player, but one thing I would say is he is not naturally suited to an inverted fullback role where you are looking for that player to make an extra man in midfield so that you outnumber the opposition in the central midfield areas and are therefore able to play around their press and their kind of closing down of you. But because Emerson Royal, and this is my opinion, you can disagree with me if you like, but because he needs a touch on the ball and often 2 or 3 touches, and even then is a little not desperate to play a brave pass, it basically renders that extra inverted fullback as an extra central midfielder slightly pointless. So that is why I think he's talking about Emerson Royal there, and I'm not sure I fully disagree. James Moore from The Athletic, and obviously from the View from the Lane podcast, says, I would say if you put every player back into the box to defend every corner and a guy heads in unmarked on the edge of the 6-yard box, something has gone wrong. He's talked before on the View from the Lane podcast, which is an excellent podcast, by the way. Make sure you follow that if you don't already. He talks about how he's always surprised that he sees that we have all of our men back in our own 18-yard box for corners that we defend against, and how often we still don't get the first head on the ball despite that happening. And, that shows again today.
It's that zonal way of defending, isn't it? If not everyone is alert on a zonal defend, then you leave yourself open.
Yeah.
Right? One player, ball watching or not paying attention, that's it.
Do you know what? My issue actually, I'm very angry about how we conceded the goal, but my issue isn't really that. It's how many goals we should have conceded as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's one thing giving away a goal from a corner in a game where you've made loads of chances and you should be winning. It's another thing when, that they could be 3 up. I'm sorry to be negative, but they could be 3 up.
Yeah, they could be. They missed a tap-in the first few minutes. Wang there.
Yeah. Jay Murray says, you're right about Royal. It's hard for him to feel comfortable when he has a Sarr and Basuma combo to protect him. Take Emerson off and move Sarr to right back. Bring on Lo Celso or Johnson. I mean, it seems unlikely that anything kind of completely drastic like that is going to happen anytime soon. But I do, like I said, I do wonder whether he might be tempted. I think it was the Brentford game where for the first time we brought on Pierre as the 6, if memory serves, and then we pushed Lo Celso in with another creative midfielder. Was it Maddison at that point? I'm not sure. Tony Rodriguez says, Wolves are reading us like an open book. Ange is clueless. Okay, that's quite strong. I wouldn't say that. But there you go. And quite a lot of people calling for Dragushin, which to me, I don't know. I think it's a lot of people just kind of wanting to see their new toy a little bit. Like, you can't say that Romero or Van der Ven have been bad. And then the idea that you would take off, what are they thinking the option potentially is there? Take off one of the fullbacks. So you take off Royal and what? Put who at right?
Mickey Van der Ven.
Van der Ven at right back. Yeah. But he plays on the left usually of our centre-backs. So
this is what people are asking for, though. I don't think the issue.
I don't think Mickey Van der Ven. I don't think Mickey Van der Ven is an inverted fullback.
No, and also the issue isn't the defend currently the defending. It's going forward where we're actually lacking. Where I thought we, with Sonny coming back, I thought we were going to have a real threat, but we just haven't quite cut it in the final third. It's an issue of not getting in the right spaces, and then it's an issue of not finding the right ball. You know, we've seen a couple of times some decent play, and then, you know, the final delivery is just not quite there yet. So yeah, things for me have to change big time in that second half if we want to get anything out of this game.
Crimson on the comments going in on exactly what we just said there. So Radu should sub off for Emerson. Mickey played as a right back and left back for Wolfsburg. He should go right back and Radu goes centre back, obviously. Well, okay, he played full back for his previous club, but were they inverted fullbacks? It's just hard for me to see Mickey van der Ven playing in central midfield. But look, who knows? Who knows? There was one other person, sorry I've lost you now, but suggesting that we could bring Dragushin on, play 3 centre-backs and play 2 up front, bring Sonny in kind of up front, Ben Davis to left wing-back. That is another option, I guess.
It's more of a threat up front for us, you know, if we have 2 main men up there.
But we're not making chances, so is taking another midfielder off going to make us more chances? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We'll see.
I want to see if he's tweaked something, though, here.
I want to see a little bit more aggression from Spurs, because I think, you know, like we talked about before, these clubs know that if they get stuck into Spurs, it can kind of stymie our play. And I think we need to match it a little bit more, personally. I'm not suggesting like anything rash, but what I'm saying is you go into those 50-50s with a little bit more spice.
A bit more gusto. Yeah. No, I hear that, Barney.
Players are back on the pitch. No changes so far. Tottenham are just going to have to do it the hard way once
Come on,
again.
Tottenham. Come on, you Spurs. And this is, you know, for anyone thinking we're being negative, I thought we were going to come and turn these guys over. So, you know, I've been positive since the start of the game, and I'm going to stay positive right now. I think we are going to come back in this one. I'm expecting us to get back in this one, and I think that it's going to be a completely different second half to what we just saw.
I'm not ashamed of being negative when my team are losing. I love my football club, and I want them to win. And when they're not winning and they're not playing well, I get frustrated. It's quite simple.
It's normal.
Yeah. Okay, Deki Kulusevski's won the ball on the right-hand side. Richarlison running away from him, but Deki's surrounded by people. He's beaten the man there. He's got to win something here. Just win something. Well done. He's won a throw-in up the pitch. Good territory advancement from Deki there along the right-hand side. Another option, of course, would be rather than bringing Lo Celso on as another creative, you could bring Kulusevski into central midfield as the second creative and Johnson on the right. Oh,
Go on!
Goal!
Hey!
Kulusevski from nothing!
Come on!
Absolutely nothing. Don't leave me hanging any longer.
Oh, sorry, Barnaby. I was waiting there for the replay to see. Did he make him there before?
Just as I was talking about Kulusevski being creative, he somehow gets to an incredibly tight angle, literally on the byline, and toe pokes it under the keeper. What a start to the second half from Spurs.
And did he make the defender before the finish?
We're about to see. So it's a throw-in on the right side, taken by Romero into Richarlison's feet, who gives an interesting ball. Kulusevski gets it back and then nutmegs the keeper with a little toe poke.
Beautiful.
Richarlison here, so holding it up there, and it's not a great ball, but Sarr does enough to get it back just about to Kulusevski. It's a lovely little fluky goal from Spurs.
And what a toe poke, eh?
Sometimes you just got to take it early. As a keeper, like the last thing you want is them to take it early because you've got no trigger. You've got no idea what's going to happen. I think that might accidentally count as a Sarr assist.
An assist.
He doesn't nutmeg Dawson, but he just takes an extra touch to get it past him. He does nutmeg the keeper. 1-1. No VAR problems on that one that I can see.
Come on, Kulu. Well done.
Now, what's important to me here is can we up the tempo and make the most of it? We got the ball back again.
Come on.
Royal into Rishi. Flicks it off. Oh,
it's a great flick by Richie.
He gets it back. He will be offside. Chance for Madders. And they haven't given the offside, so Wolves clear it. And now he gives the offside.
What has Ange put in her half-time tea?
A dose of lividness, I'd say. So it's been given as offside, but actually I did think it came off a Wolves player, and I think that's why the Spurs players are complaining.
Yeah, it did. It bounced off a Wolves player.
Anyway, 1-1, and a lot of the fans still in the bars. I think they're all kind of coming back now. That's exactly what happened to me last season. I think when Stellini was manager against Chelsea, and Skip scored very early in the second half, and I missed it because I was walking back to the ground, to the inside, or to the main bowl of the ground. Sorry.
Infuriating that is.
Bissouma on the ball. Is there an option for him? There wasn't really. So he lays it out for Royal, who gives it back to Sarr, to Bissouma. A bit better there in midfield. Bit kind of nice, tight 1 and 2 touch stuff. Van der Ven out to Son now. And Davis has made a nice run for him inside. Is he going to give it? He is. Win a corner here, Ben. And he does.
Well done.
And he does.
Well done, Tottenham.
Davis gets to the byline, tries to cut it back, and the defender Kilman kicks it off the pitch.
I also want to praise Richie in the build-up to that goal there with Kulu. You know,
he used his bum well, backed in well. Yeah,
he backed in well. He was making the defenders work. You know,
he still didn't control it.
I think he just laid it off to Sarr.
Yeah, he did a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit laid off. He did all right.
In swinger from Madison. Keep it away from the keeper.
Up you get.
Chance, Richarlison from 3 yards out, and he just gets under it and it goes over the bar.
Should have scored there.
Yeah, I think he maybe should have scored. It's a lovely delivery from Madison, I have to say. Yeah, it's just on the top of his head. It's just on the top of his head. I think it's a bit high for him, but it's a good position. It's a good position.
Corner.
Yeah, lovely corner from Maddis. So 1-1, 48 minutes gone. Jose Sarr with the goal kick.
And it's all Tottenham since this second half has started.
And this is what happened against Brighton, but then
they got back into it though.
Then we dropped off a little bit. So I just want us to keep the tempo up in this next 10 to 15 minutes. Nice press from Sonny here and Rishi. That's good. Make him go long. I like that. And where's Mickey? Is he up for this one? Yeah.
Easy.
Gets it out to Ben Davis. Lovely stuff.
Easy. Makes it look easy.
And on Biss. Oh, Biss. I thought you saw him there, to be honest.
Gave him a shout.
The second one was good. Oh, I thought he was going to go back to Rishi there. But no, only Spurs give away chances like that.
Yeah.
Wolves playing some good little stuff on the right-hand side there. Oh, good block from Van der Ven. And that's a foul, but good football from Spurs. Oh, and a bad ball from Madders, but we get the advantage from the foul.
He's brought it back. It's good referee in there.
Yeah, it was. Madison not fully in this game, I think it's fair to say. He's being, he's got a man around him most of the time. But that's Decky's first goal for a while, isn't it?
It is. It's a good while.
He's very good instinctively, isn't he, Decky? When he doesn't have to think about it too much.
When he's at his best, I think he's on the border of world class. Decky, unplayable. But it's like when he drops off, he's a huge drop off.
Yeah, I mean that's where you got to still bring up the fact he's only 23, so you can't expect the consistency.
You forget with Kulu, he's honestly still a kid.
Bissouma just outside the box.
This is better now. This is a lot.
Lovely
better
run
by
from
Tottenham.
Run from Sonny. Wolves just defend that, but good stuff. And they go long. And can Van der Ven find someone? He goes backwards. Yeah, that's all right. We're going to replenish the ball now.
They can barely breathe now. The ball just keeps recycling back to us, and we keep coming again.
That's it.
You just wonder why can't we do this in the first half?
It's the mentality thing of being 0-0 or having been 1-up and then losing a goal. It's like, and then the adrenaline of the opposition team add 5% to them, and these are the kind of
psychological elements.
Yeah,
of the game.
Exactly, and it's the ups and downs of Premier League football. But anyway, we're playing it well nicely and keeping the ball in the final third and getting it back there all the time. A good little run for Sonny there from Madders. Gets out to Ben Davis. Nice idea from Davis. Bad cross, but nice idea. He tries to dink it to the back stick first time. Sarr claims it easily, but that was good because that makes Wolves think again because we haven't done that this game very much. 51 minutes gone.
How is it that Ange always looks the coolest man in that stadium?
I think because he's a bit older. He just has the experience to say, ranting and raving all the time doesn't work as well as people think it does.
No.
That's it. Wolves now having to play quicker balls and therefore not keeping the ball as well. We've just got it back again on the halfway line. Just showing Craig Dawson there because he tried to play an outside of the football into midfield and it didn't stick. And Spurs have the ball again. Madders coming deep again for the ball and therefore leaving space out wide for Son. Can he drive at his man there? Ben Davis with a good run. He's tried to find the return. That's not a percentage ball, I wouldn't say that. But Wolves have done well. Stand up, don't foul him. He wants a foul here. He's done well there, Wank. And we win the ball back.
To us again. You see, when the press is good, they give it away.
Yeah, and as a result, the fans now applauding as well. Lovely pass.
Go on, Pape.
Emerson Royale took a very difficult pass, takes it well, and wins a free kick in a very dangerous area. Lamina just fouled him. It's not Lamina, sorry, it's Totti, who actually wasn't on my list of players, so I don't know if he was a late change. But
I just presumed it was Sarr in that position. Well done for Emerson getting that far forward.
Emerson did well, and it was almost like because the pass wasn't very good and he had to stretch for it, he did it instinctively rather than having to think about it and took a good touch round his man. Anyway, Maddison with the free kick.
Great chance here.
It's nice, but it's quite central, and we had a few of these last week. It's a bit too far out for a shot, and as a result, can he get it out wide? Yes, he can. I think that's the right decision.
Sonny. Skin him, Sonny. Skin him.
He won't skin him. Yeah, he just whips it into the near post there, and Richarlison hasn't made the run, and the keeper claims it easily. I think Semedo is too quick for Rishi to have the legs on him there. That's why I'm saying he wouldn't skin him. But he got a good left foot cross in, and Spurs now putting the press on Wolves again up the pitch. But
this has been 8 minutes of domination here by Tottenham Hotspur. Completely different second half to what we saw in the first half.
Yeah.
Again, the ball's recycled to us. Bissouma here in midfield. Pepe Sarr on the ball.
Romero now, but no one outside him. So he goes back to Sarr, who brings it to Van de Ven, and it'll come to Bissouma. Just kind of stretching them side to side now a little bit.
Well
into
done,
Ben
Sonny.
Davis, who gets it back to Bissouma well. The fans much more into this game now after that goal, not unexpectedly. But Wolves haven't changed their shape at all. But that's a good ball into Romero, into Royal from James Maddison, and that's created some space for Romero, who gives it back to Royal, who's become our playmaker now. Gets out to Pat Matasar, and Royal's made a nice little run inside, and it's gone out to Decky. He's got 2 men around him, so he goes back to Pap Sarr, and it's going to come back centrally again, I would have thought. Yeah, and does. To Romero. He's been pressed a bit there, so plays a lovely ball into Ben Davis, now playing on the right-hand side of central midfield. So there's more confidence flowing through this Spurs team, that's for sure, because they are more fluid in their positioning on the pitch, as Romero gets it out to Bissouma on the left-hand side now, on the halfway line. We're just moving Wolves around here, and Maddison's taken up a nice space on the right-hand side.
A lot better.
Oh, and he finds... He pinged it into Emerson Royal, who that time instinctively couldn't control it. Kicks it out for a goal kick.
Tell you what, if he takes the ball down there, Royal, he's in a great position.
Do you think Madders was looking for Royal there, or was he looking for someone past him and hoping that Royal would step over it? I'm not sure.
I think he was looking for Royal there. I think he saw him in a great position, played that ball forward. Unfortunately, there's a bit too much pace on it for Royal's liking, and just came off his toe.
Goal kick, and Wolves go long again. They've kind of totally got rid of any plan to play the ball out from the back, which surprised me actually, because they do usually, actually, having watched a few of their games, just researching for today, they had been getting themselves in a bit of trouble doing that, so that's probably why they've stopped. And Romero wins a throw-in back on our kind of level with our 18-yard box. Royal takes it quick, and I can't see what's happening on, but Spurs, unlucky, just trying to beat the press there, kick it off with Kulusevski, and Wolves just getting a little foothold in the last 90 seconds or so.
Do you think we could see Johnson come on here? Do you not think it's a bit harsh to have dropped him after scoring the winning goal the other week?
No, I don't think he played well apart from scoring that winning goal. And with Wolves playing so deep, lovely ball, diagonal ball. Wolves are in here, real chance. Great save from Vicario, and that should be a foul to Spurs. It should be a foul to Spurs.
It has to be.
Right, they should have scored. It's a chance from 8 yards out, and he should score it, and Vicario makes an unbelievable save. Be interesting to see if either of these balls are offside. Probably not. An unbelievable diag to Semedo. I think he would have been offside.
He's offside.
He shouldn't have been. But Van de Ven does really well to get back in. But this is dangerous now, and it shouldn't... Okay, that's a goal kick. But that's what I don't like about this offside rule. The linesmen keep the flag down. It goes out for a corner, and then you can concede from a corner when you should have a free kick yourself. Do you see what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
It's madness. Beautiful from Semedo, to be fair. They're showing the replay.
He should be scoring that all day long.
Yeah, he just stands up well.
He had time to even take a touch there.
Yeah, it's Sarabia, actually, who misses the chance. Will we have lost the ball by the time the replay stopped? I hope not, because that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And we've got the ball. Pap Sarr doing nicely on the right-hand side of midfield.
Well done.
Needs an option. Man on Madders.
Sloppy.
Not. Oh, well done. Romero. Beautiful from Romero. Oh, it's a bad ball, though. Go on, Decky.
Win that, Decky.
Just win something here, Dex. Win something. Oh, Decky could have just kicked it against them. We've lost the ball now, unfortunately. Oh, easy turn. Easy turn there. Wolves breaking nicely again. I kick it too long and Vicario will sweep that up. You've got to find, as an opposition team, you've got to find the absolute perfect ball against our high line, haven't you?
Yeah.
But it looks so easy, I guess because I'm so scared. Mickey.
Ref. Mickey's picked up a foul here.
Yeah, Van de Ven fouled by Hwang. 57 minutes gone now. Wolves, like I said, just getting a bit more of a foothold in this game in the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, they're kind of working their way back into it, but I feel like, if we keep doing our thing here and play the way we want to play, I think this is for us to lose, really. It's only 1-1.
I have told you specifically you're not allowed to say stuff like that.
I
today.
know. It's just like the writing there is on the wall.
You've doubled down on it.
I've doubled down, Barnaby. I have doubled down.
The problem you've got is I now have someone to blame. You should stop yourself from doing that.
You do indeed, but you know what? I just think it's here. It's there for the taking. The 3 points. We're at home. We've got all our players back. We're pushing them back and back and back and back.
Yeah, we're not playing great. Anyway, you don't believe in superstition, and I do. That's what we've learned in the last few minutes. We're just playing the ball around again. Is Madders going to get a cross in here? No, he's slowed it down a little bit and gone backwards.
Davies making a run into the box.
Yeah. Emerson Royale gets it out to Decky, plays it into Biss. I like the way he controls it with his foot on it there, Biss, because you're always going to control it that way. Even those little 5-yard balls. Madders still wanting the ball all the time. That's what I love about him. He's had a bad couple of minutes, but he's still just desperate to get on it. It's all very tight at the moment. Comes back out to Royale, into Decky Kulusevski. Richarlison tries a dummy, but didn't work. And Spurs have won it back, though, in central with Mickey van der Ven.
Well done, Mickey.
And back into the midfield with Basuma. It's all very tight. Into Madders, who tries it first time. This is better. Great hit from Decky Kulusevski into the
it was going in.
Bottom left-hand corner, and Sarr just tips it round the post.
That's an unbelievable save.
Because he hit it early, it was kind of unexpected. I think the thing that saves the keeper here is it doesn't come through bodies, I don't think, and therefore he sees it all the way. Yeah, he sees it all the way. It's a great left-handed save, tips it round.
Unbelievable save.
Because it was a good strike. We've taken the short corner. It's a bad, doesn't really give us a chance, but another chance now for Kulusevski, who lays it back to Royale. We've kind of lost the momentum of having the corner now. It's come out to Sarr in central midfield, who plays it round into Basuma. Yes, the commentator just said Spurs facing a wall of red shirts. That's definitely true, but that's just the way it is. Pap Sarr now, moving the ball away around nicely. He's going to get it out to Sonny. There's only one man in the box, so that's why he's not going to throw it in. Gets it out to Basuma, who gives it back to Sarr. Kind of puts a bit more... It's a lovely ball out to Sarr, but Royale, I'm not sure, should have taken it off Kulusevski's feet. Gets it to Decky now. Royale's behind him, but it comes back. Just kind of moving them around a lot here. They're having to work hard, Wolves. Maddison plays a ball out to Royale, who keeps it well.
Good ball in. Come on.
He does the slowest step over of all time there, Emerson Royale, but we've kept the ball. Madders tries a little dink, but
wasteful.
It's not a percentage ball, that, and then also because especially the person he was trying to play it to was Royale, who'd made a break into the box. But Madders come to get the ball again now in central midfield off Romero. Plays it out to Pap Sarr.
Come on, Sonny.
Son is on the left with Ben Davies making a run outside him. Into Richarlison's feet. This way he's got to hold it up. And he passes it straight to a Wolves player.
Richie, come on.
He did the harder bit there, which was holding it up. He did, to be fair to him, he then did press the play and we've won the ball back. But he held it up well, but then he just made a bad pass. But at least he tried to do the right thing. Got lucky there because Basuma slipped in a dangerous area in central midfield, but got the ball out to Sonny now.
Sonny.
Again, only 1.5 players in the box. And Ben Davies wins a corner, is it? Or is it?
Yeah, corner ball.
No, it's gone out for throw-in. It's been a good few minutes.
But you see what happens when you get those wing-backs overlapping. You create havoc.
Yeah.
Create absolute havoc. He doesn't know if he's going to go to Davies, if he's going to cut back in, if he's going to put the ball in himself.
Yeah.
This is what we needed more of in the first half. Brilliant play here by Tottenham.
It's just been an improvement in tempo more than anything, I'd say.
Yeah.
But the goal has definitely helped. Sonny's just played a bad ball out. But Basuma wins it back. He's been excellent today. Him and Van der Ven, for me, so far today, have been the best players on the pitch.
By far.
For Spurs.
A big shout out to Big Vic as well. I think he's also been
Big Vic's made a couple of vital saves. Maddison's made a little run for Sonny. Sonny is getting a
Go
cross
on.
now.
Oh,
chance! Oh, it's a great block from the Wolves defender. Came to Kulusevski on his left. It looked like he was just going to rifle it home. We needed that to go through the defender's legs, really. I think it's Semedo with a great block, to be fair to him. But Spurs finally making some chances here.
Goal-saving block. It's an unbelievable block.
It was good stuff. Was it Richarlison with a little flick?
Lovely play.
Nice little flick from Richarlison there. Got to give him credit where he deserves it.
Get.
Second ball.
Go on.
Oh, Basuma. Oh, no, we're in big trouble here.
Break here.
Okay, Royale's in a good position. Van der Ven working hard. You've got to stand him up here, Emma. It's going to be a goal. It is a goal. 2-1. João Gomez again. But that's how easy it is, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that easy just to break us open. Neto did brilliantly, held the ball up at the byline and then passes it back to Gomez, who just rifles it home. 63 minutes, 2-1 Wolves. And that has been against the run of play.
Putting himself in the shop window, is he, Neto?
So it was a Spurs corner, whipped in by Maddison, eventually cleared, and Bissouma has a chance to control it and miscontrols it on their 18-yard line. And then Neto is in down the right-hand side, and he just drives and keeps driving as Royal comes to see, and then Royal just gets beaten a bit. It's just great from Neto and a great pass, and around the penalty spot, first time straight in, no chance for Vicario at all. And this is how Wolves.
Why is Biss not picking up the runner there?
He's looking at the ball. That's why. He should be looking at who's around him.
That's on Biss. That's completely on Bissouma there for me.
Yeah, he should be looking at where the other players are. I agree.
That's poor defending.
But you've
very poor defending.
Look, it's brilliant from Neto.
It's great play by Neto, but you can't be alone there in that situation. You know, you're running back for a reason to defend. He's done the hard work running back, but he just hasn't gone with the man.
No, he never looked over his shoulder at who else was around once. He's just looking at the ball. Anyway, 2-1, 65 minutes. Spurs once again going to have to do this the hard way.
Let's get back into it.
But this is what I was going to say. This is why Wolves went to Chelsea and won 4-2. This is why they gave Arsenal a great game 2-1. They're very brilliant on the transition and on the break. And in this position, they're hard to score against as well. So here we go again.
And I've had to eat my words.
Yeah, well.
Shouldn't have opened my mouth.
No, it's not like I told you so. There you go. Anyway, you're not going to say it again. No. Good cross from Decky, just cleared by the magnet that is Craig Dawson's head. Now, Bissouma made 2 mistakes in that run of play. We've been giving him credit, so we're going to have to call him on it. And Sonny tries to play a ball there that is a little bit hopeful. And Wolves now in lots of space down the right again.
Off he goes again.
Not going to beat Van der Ven for pace there, though. So Van der Ven does well.
What a tricky little player he is, though, Neto.
Yeah, well, that's why someone's going to have to pay like 70 million for him. Oh, Sonny, mate, not there. Oh, blimey.
It's like all our wins been sucked out of us.
Well done, Madders.
What a sucker punch that was, really.
Yeah. But they deserve it from what they did in the first half. They should have scored a couple in the first half, so on that basis, they deserved it. The game's going to stretch now, though, I think. I think they're going to... That's a yellow card.
Come on.
That has to be a yellow card, no?
There's glue in that pocket, Barnaby.
I think he is booking him, is he? Yes, he is booking him.
Finally.
66 minutes. That's the other thing. You got to score. You know, quite similar chances. The one that fell to Kulusevski and the one that fell to Gomez. The only difference is there wasn't a defender with Gomez. You know, Kulusevski's got blocked.
Yep.
Just before it. Similar chances. Ball comes across the box. First time chance to just ram it home. And their defender, Semedo, stayed with the man rather than Bissouma, who didn't. Where do you see Ange making changes? Because I've got to assume that in the next 4 or 5 minutes he will.
I think he's got to bring on some attacking impetus here. He's got to bring on a Johnson for me.
I don't think that's going to help because they're so deep. You know, it's not like we're getting in behind them very much.
The pace though on him, you know.
Yeah, but Johnson doesn't. He only beats men for pace if it's on the break. He never from a standing start will get round the outside of someone. That's not really his game.
I see what you mean. But you could bring on a Bentancur in midfield, but again, that's not going to unlock any defences. I suppose Lo Celso, but who would he come on for? Maybe Maddison. He hasn't had the greatest game. Possibly. But we do need to make some changes ASAP.
Well done, Emerson Royal there. Oh, unlucky. Well done, twice. Brilliant. We've won the... Man on!
Come on.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a foul, actually, on Maddison.
You could take Richie off and put Sonny up top and put Werner on the left. There's a few different things that you could do.
I just think it's got to be Lo Celso because I'm looking at players who are going to be able to play intricate little balls in narrow spaces.
You take Madders off then?
No, I'd keep him on. Find a way to bring Lo Celso on as well.
Oh, here we go.
But look how many men they've still got back. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, Son on the left, facing up Semedo. Out to Madders. Chance for a shot here. Oh, it's just over the bar. It's a great effort. He's tried to give the keeper the eyes by feigning from like 19 yards to put it in the far left, and then he's whipped it towards the near left. And I think if that had been a bit lower, I think he would have scored. It was a good strike. Yeah, Ange's looking to make changes now.
Decent effort.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Sarr had it covered, to be honest. Not sure. And on Emerson. Well done, turnout, Biss. Just Wolves' very well-coached team.
Well
but
done,
Sonny's
well
done well
done.
then. Ben Davis has done well into
One
Madders now. He's
more.
in the 10 position, and he
That's
gets it
it.
out to Decky, who's going to need help because he's fronted up here.
One more. Madders is there. Madders is there.
Don't shoot from there yet, Decky. Oh, he's chipped it up to the far stick where Sarr made a great run, and it's good defending, to be fair, from Max Kilman. They've got two big centre-halves, so it was a bit of a hopeful one, but a lovely run from Sarr coming in at the back stick.
Very good defending.
And wouldn't surprise me if that'll be one of the last things Sarr does, because I think Ange's going to look to make changes, and it wouldn't surprise me if Sarr might get taken off. Don't know.
I think that's a bit harsh on Sarr, to be honest. I think he's been all right today.
Yeah, it wouldn't be because he's played badly for me. It would just be the kind of nature of his game going forward. But, you know, I don't want him necessarily to come off. Just saying it wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, set piece. Can we get a set piece goal? Come on, Spurs. Madders with the in-swinger.
Good ball.
No, it's hit the first man. Ben Davis has dived over at the front stick there.
I think he's looking for Ben Davis there.
Yeah, maybe for the old flick on.
Yeah.
For Harry Kane to score at the back. Anyway, got the ball back on our central mid, around the centre midfield. Royal out to Romero.
Christian.
Come on, it's all a bit pedestrian now. We've got to get that tempo back up. Brennan Johnson is coming on. He's heard you. No, it was a bad ball for Madders. It's gone off for a goal kick.
It's the right idea, though. Davies has made some space there. If that ball is on, he's in.
Who's he going to bring Brennan Johnson on for then? Decky? Seems unlikely, no? And Bentancur and Werner.
And Werner, wow.
Right, so Bissouma has gone off. This seems like a bit of a leg substitution.
I think Richie's coming off as well.
Sarr
for Bentancur.
Sarr and Bissouma have come off.
Has Bissouma actually come off, or did he just run to get
Oh, okay, maybe.
some water?
No, Bissouma,
he
Sarr
has
and
come off.
Richarlison. So Johnson will play wide.
Sonny up top.
Sonny up top. Well, wait, actually, because Werner is on as well.
Yeah, I'd say Sonny up top with Johnson on the right.
Oh, and Kulusevski coming in central midfield.
Yeah. I think that's what he's done.
So it'll be Kulusevski, Bentancur, and Maddison in midfield, with Johnson on the right, Werner on the left, and Son up front.
Yeah.
71 minutes gone. Got to say, Wolves, this is exactly how they wanted it. Exactly what they thought they could do, and how they've played against a lot of big teams away from home this season. Well in from Romero there. Someone's got to get hold of it.
Well done, Bentancur.
And it comes out wide to Ben Davis, who's going to find Werner, presumably. No, it's Son still out on the left. Plays it into Werner, who's kind of in the 9. It might just be that moment. But Werner keeps the ball there, which is good. Gets it back to Son. No.
That was Tottenham. Come on.
Just a transparent inside ball from Son there, picked off by Wolves. And this is how easy it is for Wolves to break. They've kicked it off, thankfully, but it's like for them, it's only one pass. And now Wolves making a substitution in reply.
The Decky is there in the middle of the park. It's just I want to see who's up top. Is it actually Werner up top and Sonny's staying on the left?
Not sure Son would love that if that's the case.
No.
Sarabia has come off. And Bellegarde has come in. Romero on the ball.
It does look like Werner's up top there.
Gives it to Van der Ven, out to Ben Davis.
Oh,
Sonny,
Sonny
again trying to do the paradise ball, but we got it back quickly. Ben Davis out to Van der Ven, and it comes out to the right-hand side.
Come on, lads. We need to get back in this. Come on, Sonny.
Good header from
Decent. Go
Bentancur.
on.
Nice idea from Werner. It doesn't quite come off, but bounces to Son, who flicks it to Decky. He tries to whip it in. It's going to be a throw-in.
That's better, though, Tottenham. Come on.
There's just a bit of tempo to that, at least. Ben Davies with the throw-in. Werner shows for him, but it goes backwards to Van der Ven. It's all very, very tight. He's having to play unlikely passes there, and Kulusevski gives away the free kick. And again, I'd say we haven't made loads of chances in this half.
No.
And at the moment, the reason why I'm pretty calm is because when Spurs pretty much, in my opinion, deserve to not be winning a game, I don't feel that angry about it. It's when I feel like we should be winning a game and we're not doing it that it really riles me. But at the moment, you've got to say this has been a bit of a Wolves O'Neill masterclass. But that, I'm not ruling anything out. I'm just saying at the moment, it's not happened. That's not a free kick, Madders. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He looked for that. See what I mean? One pass there.
And they're in.
Oh, and he gives away the free kick there. I didn't think that was either, to be honest.
Look, I hear what you're saying about Wolves outplaying us and it being a bit of a tactical masterclass, but I'm still absolutely fuming that we even allow these teams to come on our patch and do this to us. It's infuriating. You know, and I'll admit they have been the better team today so far. But it's just not good enough from us, from our side of things. It's way too easy for them to play their game.
Yeah. So look, they've got a very dangerous free kick here. It's kind of deep free kick about 40 yards out. Neto is over it, and he's going to whip it. And we are terrible at getting first headers on these balls. We're playing this high line, so they're going to get a run at it. Someone like Craig Dawson, Max Kilman at the back stick is going to get a run on the first ball. And there it is. And we're just lucky that Ait-Nouri took a terrible touch because he was all on his own.
He was in.
We do not defend the back stick at all. It's like a tactical thing where Ange is like, good luck to them if they're going to score from there. But it's like, it happens every time. That's why I was able to say it before it happened and while it was happening.
Doesn't make sense. Happens every time as well, like you said. Put it on the back stick, someone will get in there. We got off lucky
Got
there.
the ball now. Werner's made a run down the right-hand side, but it's been blocked out. And Wolves have all day been blocking passes very well, not allowing us to find. I think in terms of what you're talking about of teams coming to our patch, what we don't have in this way we play really is there's no like rock and roll Jurgen Klopp element of it where we really just pound at them early. In fact, not since that Chelsea game where we did do that. They were so up for it that it's almost like because we got 2 men sent off in that game, maybe since then they said you can't be too excited. And we allow these teams to play their way into the game and get their confidence up. And that's why we are where we are. Anyway.
Come on, James.
Maddison on the ball, out to Sonny. Yeah, you're right. Werner is playing in the 9. I'd be wound up if I was Son, to be honest.
I don't really understand the logic there.
No, I don't either. But anyway, some space for Decky here with Royal outside him, not known for his crossing, so goes back to Kulusevski. And it's all very pedestrian, and just Wolves will be very happy for us to just keep passing the ball around slowly outside the box, to be honest. Royal whips it in. It's not bad, and it just skews off Dawson's foot out for a corner. We need to get one of these corners. Villa still winning. Arsenal 5 up at Burnley.
Oh, God.
Villa and Arsenal winning away as well, and us losing at home. This could end up being a very, very damaging weekend for Tottenham Hotspur and damaging for my fun for the rest of the weekend as well. Corner comes in. It's an outswinger. Well cleared by, once again, the magnetic heads of Dawson and Kilman. And it was a terrible, terrible pass from Emerson Royal. And now they've got 3. They should score here, Wolves. They should score. Bentancur's done all right to get back. Oh, he's probably given away a penalty. It's a good block from Royal. Secondly, we've got away with that big time.
I don't understand how they haven't scored from that.
That's the second week in a row where Bentancur has dived in completely mentally. Yes, and the commentator just said it's deja vu, and it was deja vu. But this is how Wolves went to Stamford Bridge and played exactly like this and won 4-2. And I'm not saying Chelsea are great, but it's how they're set up to play, and they love it. And they've got a player in Neto. And a few others who are able to really take advantage. Well done, Ben Davies. Has it gone to anyone? No. Shame. Crowd starting to get a bit antsy now again. 77 minutes gone. And I have to say, in the first half, I thought there'd be 6 added minutes. this half, I don't think there have been that many stoppages, actually. So they only found 4 in the first. So let's see what happens in the second. Brennan Johnson pressing high, but he's not been in the game yet. That's for sure.
No.
Okay, it's come back to Vicario. He's going to need an option here. It's gone to Royale, and he's done well.
Johnson and Werner haven't had an impact on the game yet.
No, Werner's not in the game at all at the moment.
No.
But here it comes. Johnson's first chance to get his legs up.
Go on.
He's facing up Lamina, I think it is. He goes on the outside, and that's going to be a goal kick, I bet.
Corner. Oh, goal kick. Johnson shocked. Yeah, it looked like a corner to me.
Well, I thought it was a goal kick. Let's have a look here. I think he gets the touch onto him. Yeah, it's a goal kick. It's good defending, to be fair. Johnson did try and drive it in with pace. So I'm glad he tried, but didn't quite end up. He didn't pick his time quite well enough. But look, this from Bentancur is madness. He's just got to stand up there. And also, oh, God, anyway. Royal does well in the end, to be honest, to block that. They should have scored, Wolves. Will they rue the day that they didn't?
I hope so. We got to make them pay. Because that could have been 3-1 and game over.
Yeah.
Should have been probably. If I'm coaching Wolves there, I'm absolutely furious at my attackers for not putting them to bed there.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic opportunity. But again, it's like the Brighton game here. They're controlling the game now with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Wolves coming forward again.
It's easy for them.
On the right.
You won't beat Mickey for pace there, mate. Good luck.
No. But he's won a corner.
Yeah, he has won a corner. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur. I have to admit, I've been one of these fans who's been quite sure that we'll finish above Aston Villa, but games like this and days like this make me not that sure anymore.
I wouldn't be sure of anything, Barnaby, when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur.
Of course not. Of course not. Still early in the project, let's not forget, and these things are going to happen. It's been a frustrating game. Wolves have just... I think the no plan B merchants will be out this week if we lose this game. Because, it's been 3 or 4 games pretty much in a row where we've struggled to deal with this particular play. Another first header for Wolves at the back stick from the corner. And Dawson, they get another shot on goal.
It's suicidal defending, though.
Well, they don't defend. That's the thing. They don't defend headers at all. It's almost like someone said to them, don't worry about ever trying to win the first header and see what you can get off the scraps. Anyway, we've got the ball back now with Mickey van der Ven, and there's been a lot in this game of this, which is us passing the ball around in central midfield and just giving Wolves time to get back in their shape. And that's frustrating because their shape means that any cross that comes in the box pretty much allows them to clear it with their header. And they're much better in the air than we are up there. Anyway, we're on the edge now. Maddison to Bentancur. He's going to lay it out to Van der Ven. Almost tempted for him to have a shot because there's so many bodies in front of him that it might deflect somewhere. Ben Davies comes out wide now. Gets a cutback, but nobody in the box for Spurs really. Royal heads it back to Maddie. He's going to have to do something special.
Go on, Madders.
And he does.
Go on.
Oh, no, do you know what? He's done brilliantly to keep the ball there. Needs help. Gives it back to Romero. Van der Ven is on, and here we go again.
Kulu's there.
Decky's got to make him an inside run, yeah. Go on, Timo, run at him. He's just doesn't look confident, Timo. Doesn't want to drive at the defender. Emerson Royal now, and you know he's not going to do much with it. And it comes back round to now Brennan Johnson, and it's a bit tight for him as well, so it's going to go backwards. So basically, all 22 players, apart from one keeper, are around the 18-yard box. It comes out to Werner. He's going to... He dinks it. That's a decent dink from Werner, but it breaks, and Wolves clear. And if he lets that bounce, it's going to be difficult. Does well there, Romero. Comes back to Vicario.
Well, but what I don't understand there, Werner, it's a decent ball into the box, but who have we got that can head the ball in?
No, exactly. Nobody.
Nobody.
So it's almost not worth putting that ball in the box.
Yeah.
82 minutes gone now. Spurs, I think this will be the pattern for the game now, although Wolves may well break away and score because basically they nearly have every single time they've broken away.
Bentancur on the halfway line with the ball.
The fans are getting behind Spurs, but this has been like attack against defence a lot of the time, and Wolves have been good at it.
Come on, Turbo Timo.
Timo gets it out to Ben Davies.
Go on.
Oh, interesting pass from Davies, but okay. And it breaks to Bentancur. Okay, bit of space for Royal, who you don't want it to be, but he has a dig. Oh, and the keeper makes an easy save. Didn't really get hold of it. He went across him, which was the right thing to do, hoping that, He might spill it, and we did have players following up, but he doesn't get hold of it, Emerson Royal. And that is a situation where, you know, you'd rather have Porro on a shot like that, but unfortunately, a couple of injuries have not helped us today, that's for sure. I'm not using, I saw some comments earlier, don't use injuries as excuses. I'm not using them as the reason why we've lost the game.
What was that?
Yeah, that was bad. But
was that Romero and Bentancur getting confused?
They got in each other's way. Don't forget, guys, depressingly, there will be an instant match reaction straight after this game.
Oh, no. Don't remind me, Barnaby. Look, let's just change that match reaction, yeah? Because we've done it in the last few games. We can do it now. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Although we haven't created enough to even really show us that we can get back in this.
Kulusevski just played a horrible pass forward, and fortunately Wolves have done it as well.
Come on, they got a goal out of nothing against the run of play, so why can't we?
Højbjerg and Lo Celso are coming on, so you've got to assume that will be for, I would have thought, well, unless he makes a... Here, Son's got a bit of space on the left here.
And Madders, maybe.
No, he's got to keep all of the creative players on, because opening them up is what we haven't been able to do. With 85 minutes gone, for me, it's almost worth taking off the fullbacks. Do you know what I mean? And just getting as many creative players on the pitch as you can, because we're going to lose, so we might as well lose a third trying to get the equaliser. Because if we get an equaliser before 90, I could see us getting a third. But anyway, corner. Oh, just misses the man at the near post. And Kulusevski does really well to win it on the edge of the box. Give it to Madders. That's a great ball. He didn't quite make it. And it's great defending from Semedo. He's had a really good game, by the way. Oh, is that Semedo? Maybe I've got that the wrong player. I'm not sure. 12. So, yeah, Royal is coming off. And Maddison is coming off.
I thought Madders, just because he was a bit... He hasn't had the best game.
He's probably in the red zone in terms of...
He's just come back from injury.
Yeah, but I just don't care at this point. I just want him to be on the pitch. But no, he's not had his best game. But I'd still rather him over a shot in these last minutes than Højbjerg. But, you know, let's see what happens.
Come on, Lo Celso. One of yous. Come on. Let's get a goal. Let's get back in this. Come on, lads.
85 minutes gone. Not looking good for Tottenham Hotspur. And this result has been coming, I think it's fair to say. Not only in this game, but in the last few games. Press the like on the watch along, guys, if you haven't already. It really helps us. And thank you for your support, as ever.
Please do come and join us as well on the watch along.
Another terrible ball from Kulusevski, 2 in a row. He's tried to play that inside for Werner. Werner hadn't even made the run. That's good from Ben Davis, though. Really good. Does that... Anyway.
They've got a player down on the right side of the pitch there.
Take advantage of it.
Yep, we should.
Werner has now come out to the left.
It's not a head injury, so the ref doesn't have to stop
and beaten his man on the outside. That was good from Werner. A bit more direct. Sonny taking up a central position here. He's trying to... Yeah, I wouldn't mind Sonny getting on the ball outside the box a bit, actually. Brennan Johnson, with only what seems like his second touch of the game, goes backwards to Gio. Comes into midfield with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, who finds Werner on the left. Not a good ball from Werner. And the crowd disappointed.
Looks like Timo and Son have switched it up, though, and Timo's come out to the left and Sonny's gone up top.
Oh, I can tell you, all the podcasts are going to go mental this week at the fact that Timo played in the 9 for a while. They're going to just be like, what the heck?
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make sense, and I understand why they'd go nuts. But maybe Ange has seen something there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I really
Wolves
don't know.
making another change. Still 2-1 to Aston Villa and 5-0 to Arsenal. Hwang going off.
Very bad weekend.
I'm not surprised that Arsenal are winning 5 at Burnley, though. Burnley is so open, it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah.
You just hope that somehow they would... I think, well, look, we just have to accept Arsenal and Liverpool and City are miles ahead of us at the moment. Maybe not in points, but, you know, certainly in the way that they deal with these kind of situations.
Oh, and their squads, when you look at it, you know, there's also a part there in terms of players.
Okay, 87 minutes gone. A few more stoppages because of subs. Bad throw from Ben Davies. He's lucky to kind of get another go at it.
Come on, Tottenham. We've got a few minutes now. Let's get back into it.
It's been a whimper, to be honest, mate. We haven't made any chances.
We haven't made anything. I'm just trying to will on the lads here to.
Yeah, no. I'm not blaming you. Or saying not to say come on, lads. But you know,
no, I know.
88th minute of a game, and we're not. you know,
we're not creating anything.
Wolves just, it's easy for them.
Go on, Bentancur.
He's got no one near him. He's done well to wiggle out of that, but we go backwards again because Wolves playing it nice and easy.
One more. That's it. Christian's there. One more. So tight.
Oh, Højbjerg trying to blame the other guy there where he's giving him an absolute nightmare of a ball, and Wolves are in again. Van der Ven, it's 3-on-3, 3-on-4, and he's Neto, I think, has just whacked over the bar. Now he's pretending to be injured. Well, don't worry about it. Just play round him.
The gamesmanship begins.
Just play round him. No, Neto's refusing to get off the floor as Romero tries to help him up. I assume it's Romero because it was aggressive. Yeah, it was a tired shot from Neto. But he's going to have to go off the pitch then. He has to go off the pitch. If he's wasted that time, he has to go off the pitch for 30 seconds. The ref's bottled it there.
How many minutes stoppage time do you reckon we'll get?
5.
5?
And Johnson plays a ball down the line, and Lo Celso slips, and Wolves have it back. Good pressing from Johnson there. Very good from Johnson.
Well done.
But now he's turned the wrong way, I think. He's going to lose the ball here, is he?
He's done well. He's done well.
He's won a free kick well there.
He's done well there, Brennan.
We have to try and get this ball in the box. Spurs tend to try and play these free kicks quickly, but what we are doing around the edge of their box is not working, so we need to try and get the ball in the box from this deep area. Ideally bend it towards the keeper, so get Kulusevski on it or Lo Celso on it, and try and make a chance from a set piece, because it's just not working any other way. And they're doing that. I think it's Lo Celso on it. Please don't just chip it into the keeper's arms, because Wolves will be in the zone now where they're going to be panicking around things. Could they give away a penalty or a own goal or just give us a chance? Got to deliver with some pace here. Come on, Gio.
Decent ball in.
Made a chance. Ben Davies, I think, with the header, easily saved. It was from quite a long way out. Or was it Mickey van der Ven? Sorry.
Yeah.
90 minutes gone now.
There, that one, you know, the pace on the ball wasn't enough for the header to really create any danger for Sarr there.
This game has just flown by, and he's only found 5 minutes extra, as I suspected, even though there have been about 8 substitutions, and he found 4 in the first half. Complete laughing stock, this consistency of refereeing. I agree with you. Yeah, and now we are actually in our own corner flag, on our own corner flag. Wolves have just absolutely schooled us today. They have schooled us. Oh, we're trying to play football on the edge of our own box.
Lost it again.
Oh, they're just knocking it about. They're olaying us. They are olaying us. Chance. Neto shanked it. Is it a throw-in? No, it's a goal kick.
Just about gone out for a goal kick.
And Wolves going to make another sub, are they? How can there be only 5 minutes added? 5 minutes added when you're supposed to give like a minute for each substitute or something. But anyway, not that I think we would score in a month of Sundays today. Absolutely appalling performance. Inability to find a way to break down a well-drilled side.
It's very well put, Barnaby. Very well put.
Why's Werner on the sidelines? He's already come on. And they're bringing on Matt Doherty with a note just to wind us up. Oh, dear. Yeah, Neto. Good player.
Can you believe it? They would have done the double over us if we don't get a goal here, Barnaby. It's not good enough.
Werner lays in Kulusevski. He's got to try and win something here. Turns away to Bentancur.
Let's rescue a point, lads. Come on.
I think it was a bit one note to take off Richarlison when you are going to need to try and get some balls into the box, you know?
It was a bit early, yeah. It was a bit early to take off Richie.
We haven't got anyone in the box. Anyway. Werner plays it in. A poor return ball from Kulusevski. Breaks back to Van der Ven. Gives it to Højbjerg. He's going to have to give it back there. Does well. But look how easy it is. Like, they're just honestly... it's so simple for Wolves. We haven't had any shots from outside the box. We haven't tried anything different. We're just trying to play these perfect little balls inside and outside. Bentancur now gets it back. Chance to cross it for Bentancur.
One. Shoot! Oh.
No, they're never going to get a handball from that.
For goodness sakes, why didn't he hit it first time?
It just fell to Werner. He did have a shot in the end, but crowded out. Of course, crowded out by Dawson, who's had a good game. Always has a good game against us. Yeah, it was just a great block. 2 good blocks from Dawson, to be fair. We needed one to go through someone's legs. I mean, I guess we got a goal where it went through the keeper's legs, so. Look at that press from Wolves. Impressive in the 93rd, 94th minute.
It is impressive. Very impressive side.
Werner now out on the left. Son's made a nice run for him, and it's a good run. He's slightly got in behind here, Son. He has to turn away, though. And it's all gone slow again. And comes back to Werner, and it's going to come central again. Oh, no, he tries a cross. Interesting. Could it fall for us somewhere here? No, doesn't. That was a little bit of pinball in the box, though, which was different. It's going to come out wide here. Kulusevski. Get some men in the box, Spurs, and get a left-foot cross in. Thought he should have got a cross in there, to be honest. Another chance maybe for Kulusevski, because there are men in the box. Romero's in the box, even. Go on!
What is that?
Ben Davies has just missed an absolute sitter from 5 yards out. All he needs to do is let the ball skim off his head, and it'll go in, and he's 50p headed it wide. Do you know what is? Yeah, like I said, they had men in the box, so it had to be the cross time. It was a perfect cross over Dawson's head. And Ben Davies, it's not our day, boys.
It's a 3-yard header.
Because actually, Ben Davies is one of the people I would have wanted that to go to. Yeah. He's good in the air.
He usually is, yeah, he usually is.
It's not your day, boys.
I think he got mixed up where the goal was. He didn't realise how close he was to the goal. Because like you said, he just needed to flick it on anywhere.
Needed to glance it.
Glance it, and it's going in the back of the net. You always say that you get one more chance in stoppage time, and that was that chance.
It was a beautiful cross from Kulusevski.
That was that chance.
And pretty much only about the 3rd cross he's attempted all day, and we made a great chance. It's a shame. It's 20 seconds left. Will the ref give us a bit of extra to try and make something else happen, I wonder? Just everything's kind of falling for Wolves at the moment. Oh, wow. They're completely through again. Should score here, Wolves. It's Matt Doherty just to wind us up. Hits it wide. And the flag did go up in the end. Well, time is up now. Ben Davies on the ball. He's gone for a big diag, which is good. Brennan Johnson is in a great position here. Don't shoot. Yeah, he did the right thing, I think. Just got blocked, though, the cross. Need to get another ball into the box here.
Come on, Brennan.
Oh, he's done well, but no. Oh, well done. Gio's just got involved and helped. Get a ball in the box. That's it. Oh, it's a terrible ball from Højbjerg. It is terrible. That's going to be it, is it? That's the end. 2-1 to Wolves. Guys, stay with us for the instant match reaction of Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolves 2. Thoroughly deserved victory for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hi guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV. The match has just finished. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. And honestly, I'm not even that angry about it because we did not deserve a single thing better than that out of that game. Starting at the beginning of the first half, Tottenham just played a lot of sideways and backwards passes because Wolves played very similar to how Brentford played against us and how teams are now going up against Spurs and this Ange Ball system. They know that if they pack the narrow between the lines of the 18-yard box, play 11 behind the ball, press it when we've got it, and then break, then they will get results and make games hard for us. And today, Wolves, I think, had 4, 5, 6, maybe even 7 gilt-edged opportunities to score more goals against Spurs. We didn't do anything. We didn't get in behind them at all. We barely made any chances until the last header of the game where we should have equalised, which would have been very fortunate. I'm here with Amir from Tottenham on Tour, who has had to, unfortunately, watch it with me. As we see in the background, Sonny and Postecoglou clapping the fans, but you've just got to say they didn't deserve any more out of it, did they, Amir?
No, we didn't deserve anything out of that game. Unlike yourself, Barnaby, I'm absolutely fuming inside because I saw these games, Wolves, Palace, as winnable games. You know, put us in a position that instead of looking behind us, we can be looking at the front three and start chasing them down. Instead, now it's the other way around. And I'm really trying to rack my brain, trying to figure out what can we do as a team to break down, because, you know, it's all well and good saying Wolves came here, they played the way they did, they frustrated us, they caught us on the break, the low block worked, which all true.
Mm-hmm.
But what did we do on our side of the game to try and combat that, to try and get round the low block, to, I don't know, instead, because everyone knows how we're going to line up, instead change something in the formation, do something unpredictable that will change the way they play. That's my thinking behind it, because it's just too easy to play against Tottenham Hotspur here. Teams can come from wherever it is in the land, Wolverhampton this time, come, play the way they want to play and go home with all the points. It's just too easy.
Yeah, look, I completely agree, and I think there's a few things to it that are worth bringing up. One is I just think there's a complete lack of, apart from maybe that first 5-10 minutes of the second half, a complete lack of tempo. When you're playing against a team who are set up in that manner, the way to get around it is to do it quickly, move the ball quickly, 1-2 touch stuff, keep hold of the ball, you know, be careful with the ball and make the pressure be relentless, tire them out, and then you will make the spaces in behind. Apart from that kind of 10 minutes at the beginning of the second half, and I mentioned it at the time, right? We got the equalizer, it kind of came out of nowhere, and I said, but this is exactly what happened against Brighton, and then we dropped off again for another 20-30 minutes. And frankly, after they scored the goal, it was absolute, like, child's play for Wolves.
Way too easy.
It was so easy for them. They were, like, laying the ball around us. And yes...
And they look more likely.
Oh, yeah,
they looked more likely. Apart from that chance, we had one chance in that whole second half that I can think of. It was the Ben Davies one, last minute. He should be putting it away every day of the year. He's mixed up where he is in alignment to the goal, and he's just fluffed it. But apart from that, we had nothing. Yet Wolves came at us again and again and again, and actually should have put that game to bed way before, when they were on the break and it was 3-on-1.
Yeah, sometimes you got to hold your hands up. We said towards the beginning of the game, Brighton were very impressive last week. I think Wolves have just been watching Brighton and just... One thing I would say, actually, is Basuma had more time on the ball than Bentancur did last week against Brighton. So we were okay. We weren't pressed quite as high there. But you're absolutely right in terms of when we lost control of the ball in the final third, which was a lot. Because we're not careful enough with it, and we don't have a number 9 who is able to kind of let the ball stick to him well enough. It was only ever one pass or 1.5, 2 passes out, and they were in at us. 2-on-2, 3-on-3. And of course they scored 2 goals in the end, because they should have scored about 6. And that is a flaw. That is a flaw. And I wonder, you know, you watch Man City and they get a lot of men forward and they're very brave, but they have Rodri. And Rodri just clears everything up. Now, the person who has to clear everything up for us is Mickey van der Ven. Like, without Mickey van der Ven, you know, I dread to think, because his pace allows us to just, you know, clear up so many opportunities. But today was very poor, should say. So the goals were 41st minute Gomez, 46th minute equaliser from Deki Kulusevski. Like I said, kind of out of nothing, but in that first 5-10 minutes of the second half, we were in decent shape. And then the sucker punch, well, hold on, I was going to call it sucker punch. The 63rd minute deserved winner, from Wolves. Just desperately looking through my team sheet, trying to find some positives from today. As I said, Van der Ven played well and Basuma was okay. But where we needed some creativity, and I know Maddison is coming back from injury, and of course Bentancur is as well and didn't start today, we really struggled. And I know we've all been calling for Sonny to come back, and of course he was responsible for that winner last week. But the reason he was responsible for that winner is because he is top class when there is space to run at. Right, and that goal last week was because there was space to run at on the left side, and he got that left side. He didn't have space at all today. There was always a defender in front of him, Semedo, who had a great game, and we got a couple of half-decent left-footed crosses across the front. Richarlison didn't make the right run. It never, ever really looked like scoring.
This is where, for me, when you mentioned earlier maybe doing a shift at the back and playing 2 up top, playing a Sonny and Richie, that, for me, would have been the only kind of thing that you could have done second half to just surprise them, to think, oh, what's this? What's going on here? Oh, Sonny is now a striker now and he's not out on the left.
Yeah.
Okay, how do we adjust to this? That for me would have been the kind of thing that a manager could do to tactically affect the game. For me, not only did we lose that game due to Wolves' brilliance, but we tactically lost that game in that we came with all our cards showing on the table.
Yeah.
All of them.
Everybody knows how we're going to play.
All of them, yeah. So teams know, okay, we do this is our game plan. and it worked to a T for Wolves today. And this is where I know some may have a go at me in the comments. Some may say I'm talking nonsense, but I've been saying it for a while now. I don't think Ange knows his best midfield. I think that although we're loving the football, the way, you know, we're going forward, we're going at teams, I'm not loving that football today. I'm not loving that first half today. And I think Ange, as much as he says he's, you know, he's persistent in the way he wants to play his football, it's the way where I go, or the attacking football, fantastic. But find a solution, mate. Find a solution to these low blocks that come to us.
Yeah.
Because it's going to just continue otherwise.
I think you especially have to find a solution to those low blocks when you have 2 injuries in your fullback positions who are arguably 2 of the most technically competent players in your team. So obviously there was no Destiny Udogie today and no Pedro Porro. I thought Ben Davies played pretty well, and I think Royale kind of defensively did what you'd expect Royale to do. He's a good defender. But your ability to play that kind of 1-2 touch stuff through the midfield that we saw in those first 10 games of the season with that exact central midfield, i.e. Bissouma, Sarr and Maddison, inability to do it because Royale is never going to play a first touch ball return and make the run for him.
No.
And nor is Ben Davies, to be honest. So where I agree with you about that kind of almost, you know, and it's a cliche, but the where is the plan B option is, I think every Spurs fan could have told you before this game that without Pedro Porro and Destiny Udogie, it was going to be harder to create in that central midfield. So what did we have to do better? You know, these are the questions Ange should be asking his coaching team this week. Like, what can we do different to surprise Wolves so that, you know, they have to defend in a different way? And there was no evidence of any of that happening. And actually, you know, taking that example of the cross that Kulusevski put in for Ben Davies, maybe it is as simple as with 20 minutes to go, right, okay, look, we're going to have to take a risk here. Get it out to Kulusevski, tell him to whip a load in and get Romero or get some more people crowding the box. But actually in that last 20 minutes, there was so much sameness of just their 11 men, you know, their 10 men, 10 defenders between the 18-yard box and like 23 yards out, and us passing it side to side to side to side to side to side. No cross coming in because he's taken Richarlison off around that time as well.
The subs had no impact either. You know, you question, you're putting all these balls into the box, you know, last 10, 15 minutes of the game. Who's there that can head the ball?
Yeah. Can I say one thing as well that I just wrote down? I do feel like in these games particularly, Ange Ball relies quite a lot on brilliance, by which I mean creativity and the ability to unlock a very tightly shut door, right? You know, a little through ball between the lines of, you know, a very, very specific type of brilliance that I think only in today's game Maddison had the ability to do. Arguably Kulusevski, but wasn't really often in that kind of central pocket. He was out wide most of the time. And I think, you know, to break down games like this, you're relying on some brilliance like that or some long shots, and we don't have long shots. No. I can think of one from Maddison, and I think we are going to have to learn to take a few more shots because you'll win corners, it'll be deflected. Remember the one against West Ham? They had a long shot. It deflected twice off our defenders, and they scored as a result. You can't, you know, it's that old cliche, isn't it? You do the same thing over and over again, it's not going to change. And Ange, I think, will surely see that.
So I can remember being sat here watching the Brighton match with you, Barnaby, and, you know, we were coming out of that first half just saying, why are we not shooting? No shots, no shots. And yet again, you're seeing here a pattern. So, you know, I'm looking for Ange for the next games. I'm really looking at him and I'm assessing his performance here. And what can he do? Because although you don't have to make that crazy, you know, formation change and stick 2 up top. You don't have to. It can be an instruction, on-pitch instruction. Guys, shoot. Every time you're around that box, shoot. I don't care if it doesn't go in. Like you said, could come off, great save, corner.
Can I just bounce off that quickly? The other thing is, if you do shoot a few times, then when you're shaping to shoot, the defenders are going to slide at you, and then if you make a last-minute decision to slip it in, that defender's not there anymore. But because they've watched the last 3 games and they've watched the whole game today, and they're like, well, they don't shoot from there, so we don't need to dive in. No. Do you know what I mean? It is quite, you know, it's just another thing, you know, and it's interesting that you say that's what we were banging on about last time. Do we now have a 100% record of losses watching these games together?
I don't want to get into these records. Records are there to be broken, but yeah, it's not looking good for you and me.
As I said at the beginning, the sad thing for me is that I'm not, you know, I know you're fuming and you should be, but it feels like we deserve to lose, and therefore I just like, you know, it happens sometimes.
But I think here's the thing, Barnaby. The fans don't deserve to lose. The fans,
no, of course.
The fans there, they come, they pay their money, they sing their hearts out, they give everything for this club, and to get that back, To me, that's not good enough. That's just simply and utterly not good enough. If we had gone down fighting, hit the post 3 times, creating loads of chances, it would be a different Amir here on the post-match show. Yeah. But because it's the way we've gone down without a fight, and we've telegraphed the game. Yeah. We've said, here, this is the way we play. Come at us, do your thing. Bit of brilliance on your side. We'll make a mistake. We won't mark a defender for the corner.
Oh God,
we'll go 1-0 up.
We haven't even mentioned that goal. Like, shameful.
And that's what's happened.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, all the other performances, even when we were winning, okay, we beat Brighton at the depth, and
Everton,
Brentford. It was all leading up to this.
Yeah, it was.
We haven't put a team to bed like we did against Burnley earlier in the season. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for this match.
Yeah.
I was saying to myself in my head before coming to the studio, I would love it to be 3-1 and have a 2-goal lead by the 70th minute. But we're just not capable of doing that. We're not good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And this is where Ange needs to take us to the next level. And he'll have the summer window to do that.
Yeah.
So
Before we leave, I just wanted to bring up one other thing, which is I think we are severely lacking a player who can do something a bit different, by which I mean we've got creativity in Maddison, and I would argue that Maddison and actually Lo Celso are similar players in terms of how they utilise their creativity.
They are, yeah.
Good through balls, a little jink and a drop of a shoulder here. They can shoot pretty well from outside of the box, good vision. What we don't have in this squad, in my opinion, is a single kind of surprise magic player. Somebody like a
Bale.
Well, obviously a Bale, they're looking like top level. But what I'm talking about is like someone like almost like a Doku, actually, who Man City went and got, right? Who he can just beat a man at will. His acceleration is so quick. And that makes oppositions defend in a different way. They don't know. Is he going to play inside because that's what Pep wants? Or is he sometimes just going to drop and run? Brennan Johnson, he will get better and he's got pace, but he's more he's more suited to like Conte ball and breaking. Mm-hmm. He would do incredibly in that Wolves team, right?
He would.
But what we need to look at, in my opinion, in the summer, and I don't have names off the top of my head, but is players who can do something a little bit different from a standing start or a bit of magic. And even Sonny, I'd say, he's not that magic player. He's great when you're on the transition, and he's his decision making and his finishing is top class. But we need someone who can offer us something a little bit different. And I'd love to know in the comments from you guys, or come and talk to us on our post-match reaction show, which will be in about 10 minutes' time, and we can talk a little bit more about that. To finish this one off, guys, it feels to me a little bit, and Amir said it, like this one was coming, and maybe we deserved it. And Wolves they did a number on us today, and that's what happens. Please do press like, make sure you're subscribing. We are Tottenham TV. Come to my channel, which is in the title, @BarnabySlater_ to see my daily content. Go to Tottenham on Tour to see more of Amir, and stay on for 10 minutes time when we will do the post-match, very depressing reaction show from today's Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolves 2 defeat. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Hi guys, welcome back to a somber We Are Tottenham TV after Spurs lose their good record at home over the last few games by basically letting Wolves trample all over us 2-1 at Big Lane, as I like to call it. I'm here with Amir from Tottenham on Tour. We had to sit through that absolute dross. I've been going through the comments. We'll definitely go through a few of those. But don't forget, if you want to talk to us here, you can. All you have to be is a member and call in. We are waiting for some of you to come in, give us a call. And of course, no doubt, talk totally positively about that match, I would imagine. For any of you who are just tuning in now, basically, Wolves set up in a very tactically adept low block just on the edge of their box. And every time we lost the ball by trying to be a little bit too cute, they broke on us incredibly impressively. Neto had a good game. Nori had a good game. They should have scored more, in my opinion. It was kind of basically, I don't know what you think, Amir, but if you were Antonio Conte watching this game today, you'd say, well, that is why I play like that.
Spot on, Barnaby. That's exactly what Conte would say. And to be honest, a lot of that first half, it kind of did look a bit Conte ball-esque. Mm-hmm. You know, that going along the penalty box without having any threat, the lack of creativity. There's many aspects there that you know you could draw similarities on. Really frustrating afternoon for us. But again, my hat goes off to Wolves because they really did. They came, they saw, and they conquered. They came back with all 3 points.
They did. Just thinking of one thing, obviously we played Brentford not that long ago at home, and they did a similar job, and we just found a way to turn them over, but it was tight. But today, Liverpool have gone to Brentford and stuck 4 goals past them, and you can really tell the difference. I'm very happy at this stage this season to put it down to the project being further on. Jurgen Klopp has got more of the kind of players he feels he needs to play the football he wants to play, etc., etc. And I do, as I mentioned at the end of the post-match reaction, I do feel we are a few players short in terms of players who can just do something a bit different when a game is so rigidly set up like that. But I think the last week or two has really shown that any of us, and I admit my naivety here, who may have thought we could be within 5-10 points of the leaders by the end of the season, I think there's going to be quite a big drop-off because teams will continue to set up against us. We've got Palace at home next, and they will do exactly the same, won't they?
Why not? Any team that's coming to play at the Lane knows the way they should come and play, basically. They know how we're going to set up. They know that, you know, although we will come at them, we'll leave space in behind. And if they've got the players that can utilise that, which Wolves do with the likes of Neto, you know, you can see what happens. And it's not a fluke or anything. This, for me, this just shows what a great manager Gary O'Neill is. Because he's come here, he's set up his players exactly the way he wants. Yeah. And he's basically, his plans worked like a trick. You know, they've got the goal they needed in the first half. Even when we pegged it back to 1-1 and we were looking the better side, they didn't lose faith, and they got the second goal, and well deserved.
I'll tell you what, though, you know, as ever, trying to find my kind of glass half fullness. I do feel confident that we have the right man in charge. I do feel confident that we now have the football men around him who are all kind of singing from the same team sheet, that this 14 or now 13 games left will be more learnings towards what we then need in the summer to make sure that next season this stuff doesn't happen again. We should include a couple of caveats, of course. The 2 fullbacks not being there, them being 2 of our most technically adept players, and our style of play being so important that we have those fullbacks playing inverted. The fact that Davis and Royal were inverted today, I think, is basically a waste of time because they're not good enough to really open up Wolves. You know, if you think about the amount of time that those players were kind of 25 yards out from the Wolves' goal, ball at their feet, neither of those players are able to then play a little slide rule ball in or whereas a doggy kind of makes some very kind of direct ball runs onto the penalty spot sometimes.
Oh, he's a beast.
Not really Davis's game so much. So that caveat is worth talking about, but that's not the excuse as to why we lost the game. We lost the game because Wolves were set up better, and as you said, Gary O'Neill did a very good job. Guys, don't forget, once again, please do call in if you're a member. We would love to talk to you. We've heard the sound of our own voices for about 3 hours straight now. Amir and I have already agreed never to talk to each other ever again, because we've got a 100% no-win record on this so far. So please do call in. We really do want to talk to you. In the meantime, I'm going to bring up some comments. Xylus says, as an honest Spurs fan since 1992, I'm so disgusted seeing that Spurs fans want Ange out. Ange is the most tactical coach I've seen in my lifetime. Let's give him more time, say 6 years. Now, Xylus, I think that's a great comment. Thank you so much for writing in. I don't think the reality that some Spurs fans are saying stuff like that on message boards or, comment sections is a reality. I don't think the reality of most Spurs fans is they want Ange out. There's a lot of people who just write things because they want to get a reaction. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But, that doesn't mean that we can't be negative about a performance. And, Ange has to take some responsibility today, and I'm sure he will.
Of course. He at the end of the day, he's the one that tells the team how to line up. He sets the instructions tactically, player to player, the defending, everything comes down to him. He's the gaffer at the end of the day. Yeah. So I do think, although of course, if you're any rational Spurs fan, you're not going to be Ange out. Of course not. He's transformed this club from 8th to where we are and united the fan base. But having said all of that, it doesn't mean that we can't critique Ange's performance or his tactical decisions on pitch. And personally today, I'd love to hear your guys' views. Come on and let me know what you think. I think Ange got it wrong today because, like you said, he already said in the press conference about the 2 players being injured. So your opponent knows that you're weak and there in those positions. And if you know that those 2 players aren't good enough to play that type of football, so why not adjust to that? Why not do something? Why not tweak something in your setup to try and change something and then get your opponent thinking? That to me was the issue today. I'd love to see what some of the callers have to say on Ange and how he's set up. I'd love to hear what people think about the substitutions as well, which I think potentially he got wrong. If you put Richie in that position of where Ben Davies were in that last minute, he's burying that every single day of the year. So.
Completely agree. So guys, please do get your calls in. Adam says in the comments, no personality on the pitch, and to be honest, hasn't been for a while. Ange Ball is about expressing yourself, and we're not. Do you know what? I think that's a really good point.
Good point.
I don't think Ange wants to see us just flicking the ball side to side all day either. And that's where it kind of comes back to who is... I guess I should caveat with the fact, when you're lined up with 11 men or 10 defenders in front of you, it's not even easy to say, oh, okay, well, I'm going to run at this player, because if you beat that player, there's another man 4 yards behind you as well. So it's not quite as simple as that. But I agree, there has to be more bravery and creativity and ability. But I've also been complaining a lot over the last few weeks about how we're not very good at keeping the ball in the final third and momentum, kind of gaining momentum and keeping pressure on the opposition. And so at the same time as that, I've been saying, we're always trying the paradise ball, and we lose it quite a lot and give a lot of chances the other way. So I'm reticent to contradict myself, but I know that Ange will be saying that. Is it Shoney? I'm glad for Dragushin right now. A 30 million tank sitting on the bench knowing he's not to blame for this swear match. Well, look, the centre-halves are playing well as far as I'm concerned, so that's not an issue for me. One thing I could say is quite a lot of times we found Romero and Van de Ven kind of replenishing the ball around 25 yards out. Was there a possibility where Romero, rather than it being the only time at the last minute when he did this, playing it out wide, following it into the box and saying to Kulusevski, whip it in and let's get some men in the box? Because there were just too often where we didn't have enough men in the box, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of times where, the only man in the box was Richie and he was alone. And every time, you came to put a ball in off one of the wings, you look inside, if there's only one person in there, you may as well hold on to the ball and recycle it and go around again. And that's what was happening every single time. Yeah. So, the example you give of Kuti going forward, and we know how good he is in the air, that's already an idea, an instruction that you can give on pitch that can do something a bit differently. For me, that's where we lost this game. It wasn't just, player for player or their bit of magic. We lost this one, for me, on the tactic board and the in-game decisions that we made. Because at 1-1, that game was there for us to be won. We were steamrolling.
You said it at the time.
We were steamrolling them. Around the 60th minute mark, we were all over them. then they managed to get the goal against the run of play, and it just knocked the absolute stuffing out of us, and we couldn't recover.
It did. Guys, while you're here, as I said, please do phone in, but also smash that like button. Get that like button pressed so that this video then goes out to more Spurs fans and we can talk to more of you. Derek Jake Green says, as a Spurs fan, I honestly think that we may be upset with today's defeat, but in sport, there's always losses and wins. So don't be critical or negative just because of today's loss. We will be better. Well, that kind of echoes something I said just before we came back on, actually, which is, you know, this has been coming. In the last kind of 4 or 5 games, we've not played well and we've snuck over the line and very nearly won against Everton, where we probably didn't really deserve to. And it's important, almost like everybody got very high after the last minute win against Brighton last week, but we didn't deserve to win that game either. No. So in the same way that we probably shouldn't get too high about that, let's not get too low about this either. This is Ange's first season, and actually this is something I wanted to bring up all day today. It's worth bringing up now, I think. You know, when Ange signed as Spurs manager, where did you think Tottenham would be with 13 games to go? Because I didn't think we'd be in 5th place, I'll be totally honest. And I think we are ahead of time. He is still trying to get players to understand the system. A lot of the signings we've made have impressed us more than I expected. I mean, I come back to Van der Ven, by the way, but also the fact that we now have a system that Romero loves to play in and is enjoying, and we're getting more out of our players. So, yes, we're not there. There are going to be bumps in the road along the way. Ange said that himself right from the start. So, you know, how do you feel, I guess, more in general with 13 games to go now? Obviously, there's the cherry there now of the Champions League. Of course there is. And if Man United win this weekend, they're, what, only 3 points behind us? Yes. They're on a bit of a run. Yep. Fine. It's stressful because we've put ourselves in that position. But I think we're further ahead than you would expect to be.
I think we're quite a few steps ahead of where I thought we would be. You know, I really thought we'd be kind of pushing for those Europa League conference places and battling it out for that. The fact that we're battling it out for Champions League place, although it's not, you know, it's not where we want to be in terms of trophies and stuff, it's back to where we want to be in terms of going forward for the future. You know, everyone knows that Tottenham need to be in Europe year in, year out. So if Ange can get us back in the Champions League, then he's done miraculously. Miraculously. So, you know, we do have to caveat this loss by saying that we are way ahead of schedule in terms of where we are as a club. I think the squad is being built. You know, we can see the progression. The young players, you know, Mickey van der Ven, phenomenal. Pape Maté Sarr as well, he's been phenomenal this season. Udogie, although I knew, because I watched him out in Italy play for Udinese, fantastic, you know. I think there's a lot more to come from him as well in terms of goals and assists. Porro, we've seen him improve defensively as well, which is fantastic. So I think that, you know, if you're looking at the overall puzzle, and you're looking at a percentage roughly, where are we along the way to complete the puzzle to be a team that can compete on all fronts? I think we're about 70-75% there. We're lacking that magical player that can come in, change a game, you know, on a dime. And it's those once in a generation type players. It is your Bales, it is your Ronaldos, it is your Messis, your Mbappes. It's that
your Harry Kane.
Your Harry Kane. Yes, it's that type of player, you know. And for me, with Harry Kane in that team today, we're winning that. We're winning that because he can do the unexpected. He can just swivel on a shot and make the keeper, you know, oh my God, where's that come from? It's something that we don't have in our team at the moment. And that I'm really hoping Ange and the board will address during that summer window.
Guys, once again, please, if you're a member, or if you're not a member, become a member. And if you are a member, please do call in. We'd love to speak to you. I've got another comment here from Bradley Draper, which is a good one. Ange Ball relies on having the quality players in his system. We missed Udogie and Porro inverting massively today. The reason I wanted to bring that up is, when you're looking at, you know, the summer transfer window, surely, and this is no shade on Ben Davis or Emerson Royal, who, like I said, I think Emerson Royal is full vibes, good bloke, good in the dressing room, good defender. But when you're looking at next season and hopefully being in Europe and obviously having to deal with injuries, have they got to be looking at young, hungry fullbacks who are technically gifted on the ball and would be able to slot in more brave, more like as a more brave, creative player in that inverted central midfield role when needed next season?
100%. 100%. It's a position that you need to bring in the right player, right? Because you're not going to be able to attract someone who's of top quality to come in there and play second fiddle. You're going to have to, look for the younger players out there, which I think there's a few of them out there that I'd be having a look at. Inselwood's one of them. Fantastic young player.
Where's he?
Brighton.
Oh, Brighton.
Yeah.
We probably have to pay 100.
Scored a couple of goals.
Oh, he scored against us. Yeah, we'd probably have to pay 100 million for anyone at Brighton. You have to pay 100. You have to pay 100 million quid now.
That's the starting. That's the starting price.
Exactly. Where are you at with Timo Werner? I wanted to ask because obviously he came on again today. Look, I wouldn't question his attitude or anything ever, but he just looks like a player lacking confidence and an ability with such pace, no desire to kind of drive at his man, really. He kind of tried to get around his man once on the left side, put a cross into the keeper's arms. Maybe he should be trying to cut it back a bit more from those areas, actually.
Yeah.
But he didn't really offer us anything different.
He didn't offer us anything different. Don't think he had that much time on the pitch today to really affect the game. Since he's come to us, he's done all right. He's created a few assists and he's looked a threat. My issue is his finishing is not quite up to the levels that we would expect. You were saying that you were down at the training and you saw him putting the ball away for fun.
Yeah, his finishing was better than I expected.
Maybe it is a confidence thing with Timo, and maybe once that confidence gets one goal, maybe the floodgates will open. But is he, what we're looking for going forward down the line in the summer? I'm not convinced.
I think the problem that we might have with Timo is that the deal to get him in the summer is worth so little, like £15 million for an international player, a player who can give you something different, and in games where there is space, will definitely have, the ability to use that pace to get in behind, and has already kind of got a few assists as a result, that I think we might get him. Which I wouldn't mind as a squad player. However, I think the fans in that instance might be pretty underwhelmed and would rather us spend that 15 million or put that 15 million towards more of a kind of 30, 35 million young player. Like, say, someone like a Morgan Gibbs-White, who would probably be worth more than that, actually, more like 50 or something like that. And I wonder if Levy will be able to stop himself from accepting a bargain. Once again, guys, please, we're waiting for some callers. Please do call in. We want to speak to you, but I've got a few members who have sent in some messages, so I'm going to...
The link is open to public now.
The link is open to the public. If it wasn't before, then we apologise.
We're having some issues, I guess.
Aaron Hickok, a member, says we haven't played a good game in over a month. I don't fully disagree. Tony Rodriguez says I love Ange, but he's not infallible.
Yep. I agree with both of those.
Yeah, and he's learning as well. This is his first time in the Premier League as well. Important to remember that.
And he's going to have to adjust. I was saying this for a while. I think Ange is going to have to adjust his own managerial style from where he's come, and he's been able to steamroll in the likes of the Japanese league and the Scottish league. I think this is a huge test for Ange. He's come here to the best league in the world, to a team that demands to be at the top. We're not going to have it being out of Europe for another season, and he's going to have to find that extra bit of nous or whatever you want to call it, creativity managerially, whatever it is, tactically, to try and get us over the line. Because I do feel that although we're way ahead of schedule, we could be even more if we'd done a couple of things a little bit different. To me as well, I was a bit frustrated by that window. I think we could have taken advantage of the FFP rules. The fact that we're currently doing so well in that, is that not a place that we should be pushing the boat out and saying, okay, if other teams can't spend, why don't we spend?
We don't... all the talk is that Spurs are in better shape, and Levy has been waiting for this day where other clubs are struggling with the profit and sustainability rules. That's clear. But we don't know to what extent, by which I mean we don't know, what the amount is that we could spend now before we're, on the edge. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the only reason I say that. But yes, if, look, absolutely. The sense that I get with Spurs at the moment is they're very much in the period of time where they're like, if the deal is right and it's exactly the kind of player that fits the attributes for Spurs, then we take him. But we're not going to pay, like Chelsea have done, or other clubs sometimes have done, 30 million over the odds to do it, right? Which is, I think, what a lot of Spurs fans' criticism comes from down the years, which is, they've been quoted 25, 30 million pounds over the odds to get a player. Why don't they just do it? Well, my argument to that would be, That's what Chelsea have done in the last 2 years, and it doesn't work. It doesn't always work, at least. Like, they've also thrown a lot of young players at the same time or whatever. But I guess what I'm saying is, you know, there's another side to it as well, which I want to add, actually, which is we're swimming in the waters of clubs who can do that. So Manchester City, let's say we were interested in Jeremy Doku, for instance, right? We can't match Manchester City's wages because they cheat, and we're not willing to pay 20 or 30 over the odds. So as a result, we're really swimming in terms of the transfer market in the players that Man City, Man United, who pay a lot of wages, Chelsea, Liverpool to a degree, we're waiting for the players that they don't want. And now I would say where we have pushed to is we're the top club above that in the Premier League now.
I don't know. I think players I mean, I would have agreed with you a year ago or so.
Yeah.
But this year, you're seeing players choose to come to Spurs over other huge sides.
Very young players.
Very young players. Very young
yeah.
players. That's what I'm talking about.
No, I think that, I agree.
So looking at that, you know, I didn't think we'd have a chance in hell signing Dragusin when Bayern were interested. I was like, he's going to Munich, obviously. But no, they've chosen to come here. Bergvall as well, choosing us. I think there is something to sell here in the Tottenham dream when you're looking at all the facility, everything that we have, the manager, the attacking football. You could sell this Tottenham dream to any young footballer. Come, this is where you want to be. If you want to develop, this is where you should be for your future. So I think we can actually pull in any player. I think if the money is right and the deal is right, we should be going after players that will impact the first 11. And what I mean by that is, I don't want to see the likes of Timo Werner come into the team as a stopgap for 6 months. I don't want to see that.
Right.
I would rather see, and people may know where I'm going with this, a Khartatsvelia. Somebody who can come in, who's ready-made, who's played in Champions Leagues, it doesn't faze him, who's won championships, who knows what he's doing, and who is a mercurial talent.
Yeah.
You bring in someone like that, guess what? He's not just coming in to sit on the bench and come off for 20, 30 minutes. He's coming to challenge Sonny and challenge Deki.
No, I agree, yeah.
And challenge for those positions.
He'd be in the team. Actually, he's a good example, and I want to give another example, but I feel like maybe we're kind of saying the same thing, actually. But Matoma, right?
Yes.
So Matoma, we'll talk about your player, but I can't pronounce him. So we'll say Matoma, right? Premier League player. Played at Brighton. He's at a club that is smaller than us.
Yeah.
So you'd think if he found out that we were interested in him, he'd be interested in coming. We've got good facilities. We would pay him, I'm sure, 150 grand a week. So that would all work out. Yeah. However, we won't get Matoma for 2 reasons. One is because I think Man City or Liverpool or Arsenal now will go for him first.
Probably.
Okay. And then the second reason is I think because to get him, we would have to pay over the odds in the way that Chelsea paid over the odds for Caicedo. And that's where I think the disconnect slightly is between what we're going to need in the summer and what we'll be able to get. Now, what I think, that doesn't mean that I don't think we'll be able to get the kind of players we need, because we managed to sell the dream to Maddison. And I'm sure Maddison, I know Newcastle are interested, but I'm sure at various points he could have maybe gone to a Liverpool or a City or whatever. Probably. Top player. So we can sell the dream, it can happen, but it just needs to be a really great set of circumstances. And I know, I get it, it's frustrating for people that we won't spend over the odds, but then I always just want to caveat by saying, you look at Chelsea and they are totally fucked now because they've got all these players on 8.5-year contracts. Some of them aren't playing well. They're not going to be able to get rid of those players. They're going to really struggle.
Just to play devil's advocate, though, are they? They could be on the cusp of winning a Carabao Cup and building for the future. I mean, I know they're not great, and I know where they are in the league, and I know they're building, and I know them Bowley and all that. I know all that. But on the other side of it, they could be winning a trophy here in Poch's first year, being as crap as they are, and then build off that for next season. And we've seen Chelsea do that before when they were out of Europe with Antonio Conte and then they won the league.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think the Carabao Cup is certainly not the answer for Chelsea fans, and they don't care about. They won't, if they win the Carabao Cup final, which they won't, in my opinion, but if they do, then Chelsea fans for one day will try and give it, right? Yeah. They'll try and give it, but then the day after, they won't be able to anymore because they're a laughing stock. Like, look, and yes, they may build for this future. I think actually they're far more likely to cut their nose off to spite their face and sack Poch than they are to stick with him for the amount of time it would actually take.
Like
sorry if you can hear something. There's some madness going on outside the studio, by the way, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry. But look, don't forget, guys, at home, the line is open for you to call in. We're going to give you another 10 minutes or so. If you don't call in after that, we're going to have to shut this down. PD1347 has said, I would love Rafael Leao,
he's a
top player at Milan,
player,
right?
Fantastic player, yeah.
Surely other clubs will be sniffing around him.
They will. PSGs, your Bayerns, of course. Any of these top players, you're going to have a few top clubs after them, that's for sure. But my thing is how will we know if we've taken that step up if we don't actually do it? That's my issue, you know. If we don't say, okay, Mitoma, Khartatsvelia, Leao, however, this is the money, here you go, thank you, we want you, you're our man, you're going to be our star man, you're our impact guy, you're our Doku, if you like, put it to City. I think that's what we're missing, you know.
I agree, by the way.
No one showed us on that pitch today. You didn't have anyone there on the 85th minute when you thought the ball's going to come to him, he's going to jink past a couple of players and going to put it in the top corner.
Yeah.
If you cast your mind back to when Gareth Bale was at Spurs, any time he got on the ball around the 90th minute, you expected the ball to go into the top corner, regardless of where it was. Regardless.
I think one thing, though, the positive, if we can find a positive in it, is that if we can get a player like that over the line in the summer, or ideally two, and actually I saw Nathan from the Extra Inch, the podcast The Extra Inch, listen to that if you don't already, but he's their tactics guy, and he said, he's been saying for months now, what Spurs need is a really tricky, dribbly winger, which is true, right?
Yeah.
And after today's game, he tweeted, actually, I don't think we need that anymore, we need two of them. And it's true.
Yeah.
And it's true, but if we can get one of those players over the line, then I think everything else is close.
It's close.
Maybe not squad depth fully, but everything else, by which I mean, I think we'd need two more fullbacks, especially. But if we could get one or two of those kind of X-factor players, sorry for the cliche, then the rest of it is close. And in reality, you know, it does take a number of transfer windows. Going back to what we talked about earlier, Klopp's first season at Liverpool was incredibly difficult for him. He was left with all the kind of dead wood from previously. I keep coming back to Adam Lallana. He's not a bad player, Adam Lallana, but he had like Adam Lallana, he had Nathaniel Klein at right back, he had Mignolet in goal. I'm sure we could all come up with many more of these players. They'd lost Suarez, they had to sell Coutinho eventually. Spurs are in the middle of that kind
We're in a process.
of that process,
We are in a process.
and we're further ahead than we thought we'd be.
We are in a process.
Okay, I've got some more comments. Big Mike, thank you for writing, Big Mike. So many things wrong today. We didn't press as a team, didn't move the ball quick enough, didn't defend well enough, didn't take any shots. It was like they wanted to walk the ball into the net. Well, we've mentioned it a little bit.
Agree with that.
Us trying to walk the ball into the net has been quite common, hasn't it, this season?
Shoot.
Safe Cab says our squad isn't as good as people make it out to be. We need quality like Neto, etc., to get Ange Ball going, as we are so poor down the flanks. Even Sonny poor in that position. Just want to say one thing about Neto. I thought he was excellent today. I'm just waiting to see, is Neto explosive from a standing start, or is he another player similar to Son who, yes, when you've got loads of space to run into, makes the right decisions and is very quick, but actually, like we said, I personally think we need someone different to what Son and Johnson can offer us, which is more from a standing start. I'm going to say Aaron Lennon, right? Just to go back to Spurs of yore, right? Aaron Lennon didn't have the best final ball in a row, so it's not completely relevant. We need someone with a better final ball. Although, towards the end of his Spurs career, he cut it back a lot more.
Yeah,
he started cutting it back a lot more.
Yeah.
But he, from a standing start, could beat anybody. On either side. Quite often he'd go inside and it would work really well. We need to find some X-factor players a bit more like that, in my opinion.
Fully agree.
Nico, the spine is weak at the moment, weaker than when we had a makeshift team. Well, I thought it was good to see Basuma back. I thought Basuma did all right, to be honest. He won the ball back a few times, but we should talk about it. He was culpable for that goal, for the second goal.
The second one, he didn't pick up his man. It was like he was tracking back. Yeah, but where are you? What are you tracking back? Who are you tracking back?
Yeah.
If he had been on his man there, you know, he could have maybe tried to put him off a little bit for Gomez's second. Bit frustrating there by Biss. But again, I don't think our issues are really all at the back there. You know, yeah, there are some issues defending corners and set pieces for sure. But I think our main issue is going forward. How do we adapt or tweak this system a little bit to actually get in behind teams and create enough opportunities to say, you know, we've really tried to win this match. We've done our utmost. Because during this one here, you know, apart from the Ben Davies last-minute header, I can't think of another clear-cut opportunity apart from that one.
Yeah, so Big Tigger P has said we need someone like Zaha who can create on his own and grab the team by its neck and carry them through.
Elise or Eze?
Yeah, so player. I just want to go back to Zaha because I've been saying for quite a few years I thought Spurs should bid for Zaha for exactly what Big Digger P just said, which is that he would just get the ball and take the game by the scruff of the neck, beat a man, cross it well, get it in, take shots. But I just wonder now, was there a reason with Zaha why he ended up at Galatasaray and not somewhere better? Because maybe now he's 30, 31. I think the chance has gone. But going back to what you said about Eze and Elise, completely agree. But again, in putting them in my kind of group of Matoma, which, you know, these are players who I absolutely think Tottenham should buy. I just have the sense that they won't be at Tottenham next season. I have the sense they will spread themselves out between Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City.
Could happen. Could happen, Barnaby. You know, I remember looking at Trossard. You know, I really wanted Trossard at Spurs. I thought he would have come in and been perfect for us, and Arsenal went and pinched him. So, you know, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to think, you know, that we can nab some of those players we mentioned, I can see them going to some other clubs in the Prem.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's some real talent there. You know, the likes of Elise, I haven't seen someone whip a free kick the way he does.
So cultured.
In a long time.
I love him. Thank you, Brian Reed, for your first super chat. I don't think you said anything that I can tell, but you have sent a super chat, so well done.
Thank you.
Link Zone says, Son needs to play in the middle and then a winger like Johnson, but with more quality who can provide chances for him. Spam says, worrying about the forwards, this system allows the opposition 3 to 4 golden chances every single game. I can't remember the time an opponent had to work, and it's just flicked off, but basically I can't remember the time opponent had to work hard for an opening against Tottenham. It's basic. That is true. It definitely feels to me that the opposition get way more gilt-edged chances than we do.
Yeah, and easily as well, right? When our system allows for it in a way.
Yeah. All they have to do is play the big diag behind us or break quickly and they're in, yeah.
They're in.
Yeah. Michael J. Noonan, thank you for the super chat. It says Son up in the middle and Werner and Kulu on the wings ASAP. What do you think about that?
What, just dropping Richie after scoring 10 goals completely? I think it's a bit harsh.
We didn't make Richie a chance today.
No.
He didn't. The ball didn't stick to him great, but we didn't make him a chance.
Not one. And, you know, I used to play as a striker back in the day, Barnaby, and if that ball's not coming in, then I stop making the runs. You know, if you think back to when Royale put in a great ball and we kind of said Richie didn't gamble on it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes as a striker, if people aren't putting in those balls, you're never expecting that ball to come in because every single time being checked back, being checked back, being checked back.
Yeah, just have to do this one because Brian Reed has now sent in his message to go with his super chat. So thank you so much, Brian. He says, Neto's ability to build up steam and stop on a dime with composure is creme de la creme, in my opinion. Yeah. Not sure even a doggy would cover that check back. I think, you know, I do like Neto. You know, and I'd love us to go for him. And actually, when you look at it in terms of what we were just talking about, these teams can't take all of these players. So if they go, you know, if it's Elise, Matoma, Eze, and Neto, surely one of them. Surely we can get our hands on one of them. But yes, thank you for that, Brian. I thought Neto was excellent, and I just haven't seen enough of him to know if he's exactly right for us. Imre Kazontas says, all I want is a fully fit squad. Yeah, I'd go with that one for sure. Tony Merrington, the next 4 games are very winnable. Well, unfortunately, I felt that before this game.
Yeah, right? These 3 were very winnable.
But he goes on, if we don't come away with 12 points, I suspect Ange will come under close scrutiny from the fans. Well, I would say, and we'll ask Amir what he thinks in a second, I would say that there will always be a corner of the fan base, especially now in the days of social media, where they will give unnecessary scrutiny when a team loses a game. However, I think realistic Spurs fans and the club will not have Ange under any scrutiny, even if we lost all 4 of those games this season, because they know they've seen enough and they feel the real buy-in that everybody has behind this manager. And he will look at today and he will, I think, go mental and say it wasn't good enough and hopefully enough to have a reaction. It's a shame now we have to wait 2 weeks for another game against Palace because of that Carabao Cup final. But that is what happens. What do you think, mate? Do you think, like, Ange will come under any scrutiny?
I think, you know, Scrutiny, maybe no, but constructive criticism for how maybe he can tweak things and how he can try and get us over the line in these kind of games. Yes, I do think there are things that he can do to maybe improve our game management. That's the main thing, for me, that we've dropped points from winning positions so many times this season, which is really, really frustrating. You look at, converting a few of those draws into wins. So I do think there will be, a few people out for Ange, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the normal kind of criticism that you'd get after a kind of loss. I think most of the fan base, you're talking about 80-90%, is fully backing him.
Oh, totally.
Fully behind him.
Totally. Just to mention now, guys, we're going 40 minutes. We're going to give it a few more minutes, but anyone can now call in. We've taken it off members only. So anyone, if you want to talk to us, give us a shout in. All the information should be in the description box as to how to go about that. I saw a comment here from Mud FC, Ange just standing there like a statue. Now, that's something we kind of referenced slightly in Nuno too. We referenced slightly during the game. Ange, I think, chooses to be calm on the touchline. I think that's his experience. How do you feel? Do you think in games like that it would help if he ranted and raved?
No, I don't think ranting and raving and all the arms and all that stuff makes any difference. I think the instructions that you give your players on the pitch, that's what's going to make the difference. I think Ange will be a little bit frustrated today. Having got back in the game, it was there for us to win. I have to reiterate that. We got back in 1-1. Great bit of work by Kulu. It was a lucky enough goal. Toe poked it through the keeper's legs, and we're back in it, even though we didn't deserve to be back in it. And then the way we kind of just gifted them that goal, Ange will be fuming for me. He's not going to be a happy bunny, and I fully expect Palace to be on the end of a thrashing, to be honest with you, Barnaby.
I'd love that.
No, I can really see that happening, because I think these next 2 weeks, apart from a hell of a lot of shooting drills, Ange will be working on that creativity and that final ball in the final third.
Yeah, I hope so. So I've got some quotes here from Ange Postecoglou. I'm not a magician, I'm a football manager. We're trying to be the best possible team we can and progress this year to build something that doesn't change. We keep going. Let me see if I can try and find any other quotes. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, he's right. He's not a magician, and I wasn't expecting any magic, really, to be honest with you, when he came in. And I'm still really happy with the guy. I love the way he speaks. I love the what he brings to the club. Yeah. I love the connection that he's managed to recreate between the fans, between the club, the player, everything that he's done outside of the game. And more importantly than all of those things, he's brought a philosophy of football that we were lacking for 4 or 5 years until Maurizio's prime Poch's days. So for me, Big Ange is the guy. He's the right man. He's in the right job. We just need to support him in his managerial, journey, which is come to the Prem now. Help him push us over the line, and I think we'll get there. We'll get there, especially if we continue on this path of investing in youth, investing in the future, and looking forward to greater days at Tottenham Hotspur. I can really see it happening. Yeah,
so here's a tweet I'm going to read out. It's quite interesting. I don't think, this is from at JacoCats, I don't think that inverting both of your fullbacks works in the Premier League. As soon as the opposition team regain position, we're always in incredibly dangerous situations.
It's true.
Vicario and our centre-backs are saving us this season, but this can't continue for long. Our defensive structure, in brackets the lack of it, is incredibly worrying. I don't see any top team playing this way. Something needs to change. So the reason, I think they're all really interesting points.
Very good point.
The reason I really want to bring it up is because even Pep Guardiola had to become slightly more pragmatic. So he kind of came out racing when he came to the Premier League, and everybody trying to invert and everybody going forward. And he had to, first thing he had to do was pay 50 million quid for 2 separate fullbacks, change it up. But do you envisage a time where Ange Postecoglou has to kind of slightly bring it back on his, philosophy and say to himself, yes, it is too dangerous when we lose the ball.
Yeah, I think so, Barnaby. I think so. I think he's going to realise that, or maybe even has realised that, but he just doesn't have the players to quite do the tweaks that he wants.
Yeah.
But I think it's becoming fairly obvious to most Spurs people, that there are games and there are situations there that we will need a little tweak in the system or in the philosophy. Even it's all good saying we're going gun-ho and we're going gun-ho and we're going at them. But if you're 2-0 up and it's the 85th minute and you've got the ball, you don't need to be playing worldy passes.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. You just knock it around a little bit. Do what we were doing today. Knock it around a little bit and have fun with it. That's the time you want to be doing those kind of things. So I think Ange will learn as he goes.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Is this still about Ange pressing home the attitude change? By which I mean, he's come into the club, he's seen that over the last 5 years, Tottenham's default setting is to retreat,
Back foot, yeah.
Get back on your own 18-yard line. And is he saying to them and his coaches, all this season, it's about this. It's about forward, forward, forward. And then when he's got the squad he wants and when he's got them all kind of totally dialed in, is that maybe, which could be in the summer or could be in 18 months' time or a year's time, is that when he's like, okay, now I can say, for instance, in a game like today, my two fullbacks aren't available. So what I'm going to do, because the replacements aren't quite as technically gifted, I'm going to say to them, don't get forward as much. Therefore, we won't concede a goal, and we nick a goal, and we win the game 1-0.
I think so. I think so, Barnaby.
It's hard to say for sure, obviously. We're literally trying to hypothesize about somebody's mind.
Yeah, rack your brain. I think when I'm thinking back to all the... Chelsea, I think, is a defining moment. When we go down to 9 and there's still that high line there, I think that... If there's not trying to say, this is the way I play football, that is it.
The High Line derby.
Yeah, the High Line, that is it for me. So I do think he's trying to emphasise, what he's about and what he's trying to do. The second part to your question, will he manage to figure it out? We're yet to see. And that, for me, is the major question. That, for me, is the major one. We have seen him move to 3 at the back in one of the games there when he brought Dragusin on. So we have seen him. He's capable of tweaking things. So let's see how we go. Let's
Let's have a couple more comments. Mo money, mo problems. Sorry. People, thank you very much for writing in. People don't remember where we were last year. What do you guys expect? Well, yeah, I think we've kind of gone into that. Yeah. Mud FC keeps writing in, suicide ball. Based future, he's not getting us top 4. Michael J. Noonan disagrees, says we will scrape top 4. I think more importantly is, can we get top 5? Because I think that will still be rare. Vinny, is that the correct name there? Mm-hmm. Excellent. We do have a caller. Very exciting news. Just before I introduce the caller, I'm going to turn the volume up so we can hear them. Jory, can you hear me? How are you, mate?
I can hear you. I'm good, man. How are you?
Well, depressed, but not too bad.
Could be better, Jory.
How did you feel about that? What are your feelings post-game, Jory?
I feel like you guys. And to be honest, I feel a little bit worse, to be honest, because I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Ants. I felt he got it really wrong today. Again, I feel like he's kind of, he's a bit blind on our issues. You've touched on many of them. I mean, for me, one of the huge problems is, of course, the lack of defensive structure. We should have lost by more. Really, we got away with such a low score. So, and for me, I feel like first of all, I'm not Ants out or anything like that. I think Ants is amazing for the club. I think he's amazing in general. But I am seeing, now you're in the Premier League, and you cannot go at this league with a one formula approach. That didn't even work for Pep or Klopp. So that's not going to work for Ants either. And my worry there is that if we take not that we're like City, but that's probably the closest comparison. I think, especially with Ants. Ants is neither going to get the time nor the money to get this stuff right. In my opinion, that's what's worrying me. Also, I'm not sure that he's not showing me that he has any answers for what we're facing right now. And you see the players also being more lost and relinquishing their responsibility, which Ants is so keen to give them. So I don't feel like, especially going forward, that they're taking the responsibility that they need to.
What would you like? Sorry to interrupt, mate, but what would you like to have seen and kind of change up today when it was clear that we were facing something that we were struggling to deal with?
So today, unlike the last two games, we actually got the midfield. So I felt Bissouma was definitely a good addition today, and we had the space to play in the midfield. But what we were facing today is like what we always struggle with, no matter what manager we have, which is these heavy low blocks. But unlike the previous managers, we're not this vulnerable. We weren't this vulnerable to counter-attacking as we are now. But today I felt like, just to start off with, I thought it was a big mistake not to start Sonny in the center, because for me it was like, it's obvious we're not going to get a lot of chances. They need to be clinical. Richarlison, even though he's been on a good run now, he's not a clinical player, not at all. Also, our wingers, and Kule especially, I mean, he scored a goal, so he made up for it a little bit, but Kule is hanging on to the ball way too long. So, and this is what kind of annoys me with young teams in general, is like the decision making is so bad sometimes, and the ability is all there, but you see them make the wrong decision all the time. And I think, Anne's got in Kulu's ear and said, Kulu, you're hanging on to the ball for too long, you need to come to a resolution before. And from that, we saw a little bit better performance. Also, he got better because he got played more centrally, especially after Brennan came in. So, for me, I think you should have started Sonny in the center. You could have played Richarlison on the wing.
On the left, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also you could also have probably gotten a little bit more creativity with having some structure that enabled Kulu and Madison to be creators in the middle.
Yeah.
What setup exactly? There's many ways to skin that cat, but I thought in general that was probably the tactical mistake that was made from this get-go. And when you've got a young team like this, when the blueprint doesn't work right away, then very unlikely to find the solution under pressure. We don't have, like you mentioned before, we don't have the Rodris and the De Bruynes and stuff like that. And even Madison, our most creative player, he's not been great since he's come back, and he needs time. Of course, I'm not on his back or anything, but I actually think his passing is a bit sloppy, and even his decision making is not the best at this moment. So for me, also another thing, to be honest, guys, is like with a team like Wolves, we need. That's also a big reason why we need Sonny in the middle, is that we need actually the shot. Once we're through, we need to try and create that situation when we turn over the ball in our half. And once we're through, we can't let them organize that defense. It's imperative that we take a sprint and we go for a longer shot, for that matter, rather than a shorter one to get the finish in, because otherwise we won't get the opportunity to finish, So, and these are kind of the things I feel like the guys should be drilled on and briefed on before the game. And what I saw is they weren't thinking in that manner even, So I felt like we were just doing the same thing, We were playing Wolves like we would play Burnley, And Burnley would give us a lot of goals, but Wolves is definitely not that. So it worries me a little bit, I think Anne should have known better and set up in a different way today. So yeah.
So, Jory, do you put the sole blame on today's defeat on Big Ange? It's solely on him today?
Mostly, yeah, because we have this young squad, So I don't we don't have the Kane, and we don't have, for example, these other teams that are high in the league. We don't have players that can kind of figure it out on their own and adapt in that manner. We have a couple of those players, but you really, at least you need to start off the game with some joy, because otherwise they'll just lose confidence and keep running onto the same wall, really, I think. So for me, I can't really. I mean, I can pick out players that were good and bad and all of that, but really, I feel like they should have come into the game being much more prepared for what a Wolves game is. And for me, I just saw the same formula, to be honest. And we don't have the we don't have the stamina, upper hand like we had at the start of the season. It felt like we got better fitness out of our preseason than many teams, and we don't have the tactical surprise with the double inverts. Apart from Emerson and Davis are never going to be the same danger going forward in that regard. But I felt they were pretty good, considering they were coming in and covering, But it's never going to be the same offensive overload that you get from Udoki and Porro.
No.
But Barnaby, you mentioned it, and I've been whining about this since Mourinho. Is that we need to shoot on the edge of the box. We need a diagonal run where one player basically disrupts the block, and the other player behind has the ball and he shoots at some point there. Yeah. That's where you get the deflections, that's where you get the chaos, and like you exactly said, that's when they need to lunge out and break that structure, and then there'll be space. We've not done this under 3 managers for 4 or 5 years. It's unbelievable. I don't understand that. We have great shooters in our team. We have Madison, we have Porro, we have Sonny. All of these guys have world-class long shots in them, and we don't use them. For me, I almost feel like this is kind of almost arrogant of the managers, because they want to plan everything to a T, and a long shot is kind of a odds game, and the planning goes a little bit out the window. But that's what you need when you're running into a wall constantly. You need to create that disruption to be able to either get the rebound and score that way, or at least get some space for future attacks. So So I like. Also, another thing I have to say, like for me, it's also I've been kind of sitting or waiting to get out with them, but for me, I really feel that it's still an unambitious thing from the club to keep Mason in his role as offensive coach. So I think we've seen enough in terms of our winger play and stuff. Like, we need to gear up to a completely different level, because like I said, we're not going to get the 3, 4, 5 years of developing these amazing players that City do and stuff like that. We need to Ants has maybe 2 years. If he keeps running into this wall, the fan base will be gone, and Levy will lose his nerve and all of that. But I have to say also, even if we don't get any silverware joy with Ants, what he's doing culturally within the club is very, very important, But
yeah. Jory, thank you. Honestly, thank you so much for not only calling in and giving so much great insight, but also ending on a positive. Really appreciate that, mate. Yeah. Thank you so much. And please do call in again next time as well.
I was going to say, I think Ants will win us something, but is the Premier League. This is the Premier League, guys. We don't get any chances to rest on our laurels or do a one trick formula. We need to have several solutions. But
thanks, Jory. Really appreciate you calling in, mate. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jory. Take it easy. Bye. Have a good week.
And guys, thank you so much for watching this post-match call-in show. Obviously, it's been a bit of a depressing day all round, but Jory ended with a positive there. And let's face it, like we said earlier, we're far further forward than we expected to be at this time. Couple of weeks off now, couple of weeks for them to really kind of, train up before the big Crystal Palace game. Who knows which manager we'll be facing then. Amir from Tottenham on Tour, thank you so much for coming in. Make sure you go to Tottenham on Tour, press subscribe. Come to me at @BarnabySlater_ for the Spurred On daily podcast. Press that subscribe button. And we will be back for the next watch along, of course. But the We Are Tottenham TV boys will be back on Monday, if not before. So make sure you press that subscribe button there. Give them a load of likes. Most importantly, come on, you Spurs.
Come on.